Tell them run it on.
What is going on? What is going on, everybody in the house? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it on. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it on. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it on. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it on.
What is going on? What is going on? Hopefully everybody can hear me. What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every Tuesday through Thursday. I was going to say every single morning, but we've changed that a little bit. We've changed that a little bit over the last couple of days, so we want to make sure that it is clear. We typically do these particular types of shows Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and then Thursdays. Mondays and Fridays, I kind of like to leave to just kind of do whatever I want to do, because too much of this every single day literally destroys the brain. So we are live. We are live on this wonderful Tuesday morning. As you guys all know, we have a very special guest on today. We got the lovely DJ Angie V in the house. Should be on in a little while. But in the meantime, let's do a little bit of a room check. By the way, we sound okay? Is the audio sounded crispy? Let me know about that. Let me know about that. And let's do a little bit of a sound check before we get started here. A little bit of a sound check. And let me turn on the audio play. No, it sounds bad. Sound like you're in a tunnel. Okay. Thank you. There should be no background noise at all. So if you're hearing background noise, there's definitely an issue. Check, check, check. Let's hear this out. No on audio. Okay. I'm hearing that too. See, this is why we check it out. See, this is why I have Lady Beats in the house. Lady Beats takes care of me. So hold on, let me switch this over. Okay, that should be better. That should be better. Hey, look at that. That's my girl. That is my girl, Lady Beats, in the house. Taking care of me. Taking care of me. That's what we like to see. See? Get yourself a Lady Beats, and life will be better. Life will always be better. Mods are hard to come by. Mods are hard to come by, but once you get that mod, you don't want to let them go. Just hold on for dear life. Anyway, so, and yeah, text messages definitely work. Thank you, lady. Appreciate that. All right, let's do a little bit of a room check now that we're better. Let's do a little restart here. Wake up in Cleveland every single Tuesday through Thursday. Like I said before, I like to keep them kind of centralized to Tuesday through Thursday. Depending on the guest, I might shift it around a little bit, so don't hold me to this, because if somebody can only work on Monday or Friday, well, then that's the day we're going to have them. But typically speaking, Tuesdays and Thursdays are the day. Now, on those other days, the Mondays, the Fridays. I like to leave those kind of reserved for when I'm doing testing. Like say for instance, I need to test the Rain 12 MK2s or the S11 or whatever product I'm using at the time. That's when I'll test out those days. I'll do some pop-ups. So anytime you guys see me DJing live, anytime, it is usually speaking, I'm using some sort of new software or new program. So if it's quirky, that's why. I gotta test somehow, right? And what better time to test than when, like, 100 people are watching you. That's the best time to test out some new software. That's how I feel. It really keeps you on your toes. Okay, let's do a little room check here. We got Dodger Mom. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. I know for a fact that we have definitely some Angie V fans in the house, and that is fantastic. It is good to see you guys all. Gemini 420 in the house. To Cool Beans, welcome. Stilo Rollas, welcome. F105, F105, Darwin, what is going on? The real DJ AK47. What's going on, girl? Make sure you follow DJ AK47. She is super dope, and it's always a good time watching her. Always. Mr. Is in the house. Who else we got here? Of course, we got Lady Beats. I've already mentioned her way too many times. Miss, looks like Sin Sanchez. What's going on? And we have Mrs. Novo TNY. I'm sure it's something easy. It's early in the morning, so forgive me if I'm reading your name incorrectly. If I'm butchering it, just throw it back in the chat. We got Ratbone in the house. Good to see you, fam. DJ Banks. Aura. We got Laura in the house. Carrie ATC. We got Jenny Wisen. Constance 1975. That is a very, very good year. A very good year. Who else we got in the house? I love how the chat's already on fire. That's appreciated. All right. J Style Sounds, good to see you, bro. D Flow, DJ Joe Funk, for DJ Fly in the house. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Make sure you follow for DJ Fly. That's a super dope DJ. I want to say maybe one of the crown princes of boom bap too. His musical knowledge is pretty impressive. DJ Jano in the house. All right, now I'm gonna skip over all the no sounds because we've already figured that out. DJ L35, good to see you, bro. Now the question is, how many times, even after I got it fixed, did people keep commenting? That's always the question. Anytime you ask a question to like the audience, to the group, you'll spend another 5 minutes just getting reactions from people that were either late for whatever reason. So I know I gotta scroll through all that. All right. Back to the Chinese movie. Are we delayed? We are delayed. Let's get that fixed now. All right. Anyway. Okay, let's just sweat on back here. Okay, there we go. All right. Who else in? We got MC2 J-Man in the house. Follow J-Man. That's king of the twerk. He used to be the youngest, but now my son, Izzy B, he's now the youngest DJ, killing it on Twitch. So you just remember that. MC2 J-Man, we coming for you. For all those people that don't know, since we don't have a flyer yet, because okay. I don't know if a lot of you guys have children, but I have children. Okay, I have how old is she now? 21. I have a 21-year-old girl. I have a 14-year-old boy, and I have an 8-year-old girl. Yes, I know. The range is huge. It is what it is. But so my 14-year-old, he's an accomplished like tap dancer. Like that's kind of his thing. He's a dancer. That's what he spends most of his time doing. Then he decided recently. Let mean, he's been kind of back and forth, but obviously I'm a DJ, so gotta make sure that's working. But I'm a DJ, so he's obviously learned a little bit from me, but never really took a huge interest until, I don't know, maybe the last year or so. And so since we've been home in quarantine and I have this kind of dedicated studio for him to practice, I mean, there's gear everywhere. He's been able to practice, and then I gave him some old gear. He's been working with my old SX2. And so he's been getting better. And then for all of you that know, we were doing that father and son on Saturdays on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook at a certain point. I can take this out now. And so so he's been getting better and better. And he's starting to practice, which is what you want. You want them to practice, and taking my tips to heart, finally. And he's been getting better. So he's been kind of making a name for himself throughout the Twitch community. And we finally got him on, he's going to be on Direct Music Services. Direct Music Services this Thursday. He has his kind of debut, not his channel, show. So we're really excited about that. That's going to be on Thursday. He's at 5 p.m. That's Pacific Standard Time. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you check him out there, because it should be dope. 14-year-old. And I think he's going to be working off my gear. I think we're really going to jazz him up a little bit. So that should be fun. So if you're not following Izzy B, I'm not even sure he's in the chat. He shouldn't be in the chat, because I think he's supposed to be in school right now. But, and yes, when I say in school, it's because school is at the house. That's what we do here. We spend a lot of time sucking up my bandwidth for school. I had to update the bandwidth just because of school. All right. So if we are out of sync, that is something I can actually fix. I'll just have to do a quick reset of the browser, and we'll go from there if my voice is out of sync. All right, let's go. We got Jack McManus in the UK on the YouTube side. We got ISIS. I hope I'm saying that right, or it could be ISIS. 36 in the house. We got El Camino. My boy Randy in the house. What's going on, man? Good to see you. It's been a while. That's a fellow DJ. Back when I used to run a company, that was one of my DJs. We'll get back to that, hopefully in the next 12 years. But for now, we are here. This is our day job, talking on Twitch. Who else we got here? I see all the Angie V emotes. That is fantastic. So it should be on in a couple of minutes, a few minutes. I see her in the green room just hanging out. So thank you guys so much. Make sure that you hit that share button. Share the stream. We want to get as many people on here as possible. So everybody share that stream this morning, and it should be a good time. All right, let's see who else we got. We got Greg Flowers in the house. Fly Girl 322. T Diesel, one of the mallets. What's going on? Testing out some new names for the chat people. Clevelanders. Cleveland. I don't think we can call anybody the cleavages. Although I'm not mad at the creativity, but I don't think we can do that. Clevelanders. I don't know. That feels kind of high schoolish. I don't know. We gotta keep talking. If you guys can think of a name for my peeps in the house, put that in the chat. If you can think of a name, put it in the chat. Try to be serious, honestly. Try to be serious. All right, let's keep scrolling down. DJ Architect in the house. Luis Mendoza, good to see you, man. 1 to 2 second delay. Yeah, I can fix that. But I won't be able to fix that until I start the little intro video before we bring on Angie. And then I can hopefully do a refresh, and hopefully it'll fix that. Because I'm paid up for StreamYards for this month, not StreamYards, for Restream, I think that I'm probably going to be moving away. moving away. That is just the facts of what I'm dealing with here. It's not really getting any better, and it's just annoying me. By the way, especially when I'm sitting here at full bars and there shouldn't be a delay. By the way, just so you know, anybody that's using the Twitch app on their iPhone, hopefully you update it, because now we can do hype trains. You can see hype trains on the iPhone. It only took 15,000 years, but we finally can do hype trains. So I'm really excited about that, because that was a serious issue for me. All right, let's see if we can figure out. I'm just going to shut down some things right now. Strangely enough, if anybody was wondering, one of the biggest issues is honestly the apps running. I'm running a Mac 8-core MacBook Pro 16. And I actually was on the phone with Restream a couple days ago, and I just tell you the story before I bring her on. And so I'm talking through all this tech support, trying to get everything up. And she's like, "It's your bandwidth." It's not my bandwidth. My bandwidth is great. I don't have that issue. She said, "Every time I open up a browser, I start to have a delay." "Oh yeah, you can't open up a browser. Don't open up a tab. Don't have too many overlays." All of these little things, all of these things that drive you crazy, the things that you need to kind of run your business. Speaking of overlays, I should probably put that up there. And so she's like, "Yeah, I know, we know about that. There's nothing we can really do." And they supposedly fixed the sync mode because it's an ATEM, the hardware that I use. Apparently there's some sort of confusion with that. But clearly they haven't. So her solution, no lie, her solution was, well, just go ahead and refresh the browser, and then it should resync itself. That's the solution. Turn it off and turn it on again is the solution, basically. All this technology, all this money that we pay every single month, and turn it off, turn it back on again. I could have done that. I could make a program that doesn't work half the time. Terry, DJ Apache in the house. Yes, I do have the Rain 12s and the Rain 72. That's what I'm testing this for the next couple of weeks. A little bit of a different feel than going from turntables and going from the S11 or my Rain 70, to be honest with you. Even my Rain 70, there's a different feel to it. But I'm not saying it's bad. I'm definitely not saying it's bad. It's a good setup. I'm still testing. I think I'm going to end up coming out with my, I'm going to do the Rain 12 review, maybe by the end of the week and or by next week. The Rain 72 is going to take a little time. I'm not going to lie to you, because I want to make sure, okay. Let's make sure. Keith Bowen in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you. Who else we got in the house? We got NJX1 back. I'm always back at it. All right, now we're down to 1 second. Yeah, see, that's the sad part of this. I can never predict when it's out of sync and when it's not. Sometimes it's perfect. Other times it's just like, you just can't count on it. You know, and then I'll bring Angie on, and then it'll be all of a sudden, it'll be perfect for 20 minutes, and then it'll be out of sync again. That's the joy of bleeding edge technology, I guess. But we'll keep it this way, as long as we're okay. DJ Special J910, good to see you, good to see you. And we got Mr. DJ Feelgood in the house. What is going on, fam? He's actually going to be DJing for the Army Twitch stream Saturday. So follow DJ Feelgood. I haven't actually seen him DJ, so I'm not gonna say if he's good or bad, but I am gonna say that he's definitely been on my channel many times. Arizona native, I believe. Arizona? Or is it New Mexico? I think it's New Mexico. Anyway, follow DJ Feelgood so you can be up to date on when he DJs. Cleaver Cleveland's. That first off, let me clarify some stuff. It's Cleve with E, C-L-E-V-E, not Cleve like a cleaver. So, you know, I've seen my name misspelled that way many times. It's C-L-E-V-E, just like the city. So it's at least it has to kind of feel like that. I don't want to add new letters in, and then people are like, "Oh, what happened? Is that how you spell your name?" Now they can't find me anywhere. Not available for Android yet. Hey, man. That's the life we live. That's an Android life right there. I'm sorry. All right. We got, looks like TA Kate 20. What's going on? DJ Mad. It's not. Okay. So this is just to clarify. This has absolutely nothing to do with the MacBook streaming. And Macs are not terrible for streaming. They're terrible for GPU use. They're terrible for graphic use. But if you're just streaming a camera or two, Macs are fine. If you're trying to do green screen, if you're trying to do, some serious OBS stuff, Macs aren't the best. But just streaming straight on with the camera in this is fine. We're not using OBS. We're not using the MacBook. We're using a browser-based application called Restream Studio. It's like StreamYard. So it's not the Mac. But I understand what you're saying. For streaming, PCs are definitely better, but you can definitely get by with the MacBook easily. Easily. Eddie Rampage in the house. What's going on? Mike Carbonell in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you. I think we're almost to the bottom of this list. DJ Mim. Who else we got here? Albuquerque. See? My memory is not failing me yet. I still have a little bit of a memory here. I'm not that old. All right. We got, okay, so now I'm seeing a whole bunch of, this is when you know they're Angie V people, because all their names have like 47 characters in them. So it's hard to like read where they're coming from. This is Vixen with 2 V's and 3 X's. Good to see you. And who else we got? See, normally speaking, for whatever reason, it's probably because of my YouTube channel, I have a lot of DJs on my stream. A lot of DJs. So I don't get too many ladies. I mean, I have a small percentage, but like I don't have Angie V ladies where it's like you just turn the stream on and 400 ladies are in the chat. Like that's a club that you want to be at every single opportunity. So guys, the next time Angie's performing somewhere when we get out of COVID, just go to her club. The ratio is going to be real good. I can promise you that. Who else we got? DJ Dre in the house. Fade is okay in the house. Fades. DJ Flavas. All right. Constance. Manny from the YouTube side. Jay Snipes from the YouTube side. Thank you so much, fam. Appreciate you on that one. Who else we got? We got, just scrolling through, Empire DJs, The Cool Beans, Robster, Ash Von D, and Pentolja. See, this is one of those things. And DJ Icy Ice in the chat. Make sure you follow my Snapback crew, DJ Icy Ice in the chat. That's my man. DJ Icy Ice will be on, I think we chose Tuesday of next week. So make sure you're on for that show too. Oh, so one more thing just before I bring Angie on. So tomorrow, oh, ladies and gentlemen, DJ Paris Paul in the house. That's my partner. That's check 1 2 right there. Make sure you follow DJ Paris Paul. That's my man. He DJs around 2 o'clock pretty much every day. That's right. Next Tuesday, we got Icy Ice in the house. Next Tuesday. So make sure you're up on it. And what else we got here? The last thing, tomorrow, we have Mixcloud in the house. We got Mixcloud in the house tomorrow. So that's going to be a real interesting conversation, especially considering all the stuff that's been going on with Twitch, with the DMCAs that have been happening all over the place. People are scared. People don't know what to do. Livelihoods are at risk here. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that with Mixcloud, because that might be the alternative when the world decides that they don't want us on Twitch anymore. If they decide that they don't want us on Twitch anymore. Because I say that because even though Facebook put out their memo saying never use Facebook, I still see people DJing on Facebook. People are still DJing on Instagram. You know, D-Nice is the king of Instagram right now. I think D-Nice planned this whole thing so he could get all those viewers on his IG. He got everybody kicked off because he's the only one streaming on Twitch now, on IG. In fact, it's so weird. And I'm trying to get D-Nice on also. And I've been like, yo, man, why are you still on IG? Like, I get it. You're concerned that people won't move over. People will make the move for you. I mean, they literally listen to you for 3-4 hours a day. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay. You got this. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. I can tell you this. There are many people that have never heard of me. I guarantee you the Angie V people that are on right now potentially have never heard of me. But this is a good time to get to know people. That's why we started this particular stream. It wasn't just to talk tech. If you want my tech stuff, you can go to my YouTube channel. I talk tech all day long. But I created Wake Up in Cleveland because I wanted to just I'm a fan of DJs, and I wanted to kind of bring them on so I could kind of show people what they're about. DJs just aren't about DJing. You know, DJs have a lot of other stuff going on. So it's one of those things that I'm just a big fan of people. Obviously, if you have my Terry Talks emotes, you can throw those in the chat because you know Terry talks a lot. So and yeah, see that's Angie V right there, already over 100. Normally speaking, we don't get to at least 100 until usually about the second hour. We got Ninth Wonder and Skills on here too. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Yeah, if you guys know, Skills was on last week and just ripped it. I would absolutely love to get my man Ninth Wonder on here. So if you in the chat, Ninth Wonder, just hit that whisper, man. We can talk about the days of Little Brother, which is still one of my all-time favorite albums. First album from Little Brother. Yes, it is. All right. All right, let's see who we got here. Me, we got you in the house. We got DJ Izzy B in the house. Make sure you follow Izzy B. That's my boy. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right, so I think, what time is it? 9:55. I think we're gonna start a little early. I think we're gonna bring on Miss Angie V. But first, hi from Germany. Good to see you from Germany. And this thing is flowing all of a sudden. We might have to hit the slow-mo on this one. All right, let's see here. Dapper Kiwi says, heard of both of you on, Jesus Christ. This thing is flying. Heard of both of you way down in New Zealand. Hopefully you had amazing gift of legend. Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate you on that. Bounce DJ is in the house. And, okay, starting early. Hey guys, hey. Ease up. Literally, I'm trying to click on the show button to get these things up here, and they're moving fast. Mindy says she brings all the ladies to the yacht. So if you guys are Angie V, let's just do this. Throw the Angie V emotes in the chat right now. Let's get this all in the chat. I'm sure it'll fill up real quickly. But throw those Angie V emotes in the chat. We are definitely going to be bringing her on in like a minute or two. But I know the ladies need to speak on it. So throw those Angie V's in the chat there. Jax Cruz, thank you for the follow. J-Rod, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the sub, appreciate that. Butterfly Gang in the house. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, obviously this woman needs really no introduction, and we're gonna switch to a video first before we bring her on just to make sure. But she needs no introduction. You guys know her. I want to call her. She might be the queen of Twitch. In all honesty, she might be. She's saying no, but I can only go by what I see, and the numbers say you might be the queen. So, all right, as we keep going through, let's move over to Angie V in just a second. But first, we're going to show this little video just so we're ready to go on the other side. So hang on, hang tight, people. Let's do this. Okay, look, I know you think this is a little weird that we're sitting here talking and I just left and I was in a completely different outfit. Well, that's future me. I'm past me. So what I want to talk to you guys a little bit about while they're setting up for this next guest that's coming on, and I'm sure they're going to be dope, but I want to talk to you a little bit about ways to support the channel. You see, there's a lot of work that goes into this channel, and the only way to keep it going, the only way to keep bringing on new people and upgrading the sets and upgrading the intros is by you supporting me. So here's a couple of ways that you can support me, and I'm not sure that a lot of you know this. If you're new to Twitch, you want to look down right here. There's a little subscribe button. That's the easiest way to support me. It's like $5. It's like buying me a cup of coffee. If we're at the bar, you're buying me a beer. If you're feeling a little more generous, maybe you want to gift somebody a free sub. If you are a Prime member, you can use your Prime membership. You get one per month. You can use that on me. It doesn't cost you anything. Now, if you're sitting there on the YouTube side, you can also hit that membership button right there, or you can give me a super chat and then send me off a tip. Look, I know that times are tough, money's tough, and I know that what I'm asking for some of you people might be a little too difficult. So there are other ways that you can help the channel. You can host the stream, share the stream. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, share the stream to everybody. Get the word out. That's the easiest way to help me out, and that doesn't cost you a dime. Those are just a couple of ways that you can do this. Also, if you feel like just sending a tip directly to me, Venmo or Cash App located right here. All right, guys, I think they're coming back, so I need to get out of here. Just remember what I said. We'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, what's going on, girl? Can you hear me? Are we good?
Hi, I can hear you.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. You sound great. All right, I want to make sure that everybody can hear us. How's it going? Everybody in the chat, just let us know that we are audio-wise, we sound good. I don't want to be sounding like I'm talking through a speaker. So let me know in the chat if we are good. Let me know in the chat if our levels are sounding good. So Kid Cut Up in the house, what's going on, fam? Good to see you.
I'm gonna clean my screen. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh yeah, way better, way better. Okay.
Oh,
Hi.
much better, much better. Hey there. So I see right off the bat you got your green screen happening here. So
yeah, this is like my most where I spend most of my time, so I just feel comfortable here. I'm like, whatever. My lighting's already set up. Let's do it.
Now, is that a what are you using for your green screen? Is that fabric? Is that paper?
So it's fabric. It's actual green screen. I bought it. It's like a large amount of green screen. Yeah. I bought it on OfferUp from somebody, and then Carrie and I just used Velcro to kind of attach it so you can see where it's kind of hanging down a little bit. Because that's my shoe closet.
They don't see that.
Yeah. So yeah, we just use Velcro because every now and then we have to kind of rearrange what's going on this wall. But yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, you know what? I used to do green screen a lot more than I do now. But the problem is because I do a lot of YouTube content. So I have to kind of bring it up and take it down. It was getting on my nerves.
Yes.
So at one point I consider just painting the wall. Like it's green, but it's not going to match my skin, my complexion too well. So
that's where I was leaning towards. So I was on my way to the store to buy green paint because I was so tired of it, which I'm so glad I didn't do that because I hate the color. Like this is could you imagine walking? It's like, this is the color of my wall. So yeah, I didn't do that, thank God, but I get it because there's times where I still have to stream for brands and it's not on Twitch, and then you're stuck with this ugly. That's why we decided to do the Velcro, because we can whoosh, rip it down really fast and stick it back up. Yeah. And by we, I mean Carrie.
Gotcha. The Velcro idea is actually pretty smart because it is easy to pop on and pop off. I've been using thumbtacks and jamming it into my wall just real quickly.
I'm telling you, get the Velcro. Let me give you a little quick demo. Okay. Get the Velcro. Check it out.
Hold on. I'm going to put you on full. Hold on.
And then it's that easy. Look, bam, touchdown. So easy. You got to do it.
Okay.
It honestly, it does definitely changes the game.
I got you. No, definitely. And then it would be easy to just kind of put it up on the wall. And then when I want to take it down, take it down. So I think I'm going to do that.
I feel like I see the chat. I feel like we helped a few people, right? Paris Paul? For sure. Do it.
Especially Paris. But you know the funny thing, Paris Paul, little Paris will be ripping that stuff down on the daily.
Oh, I can
on
imagine.
The daily.
I'm sure. Hands down. He sees his dad do it once and it's a wrap.
Exactly. So by the way, I did mention that you were the queen of Twitch, and then everybody changed it to queen of quarantine. So okay. All right. There's
I think in the DJ world, we do very well with numbers for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But that definitely started from building such a great following over on Instagram Live. For God, I mean, we were on, I was one of the last DJs out of all of my friends to make the switch completely and like really take the partnership deal. Because I mean, the community and Instagram was just so great and I didn't want to let anybody down. I didn't want to leave anyone behind. But I've been lucky that the majority of them have made the switch
Mm-hmm.
over. Yeah. And it's so cool because we get to do all this cool shit now.
Exactly. And I kind of want to talk about that because I know a lot of people, especially a lot of people in my chat, are probably trying to figure out how in the world you actually got all of your people over. Because a lot of people will have, 5,000 followers on IG, and then they move over to Twitch and only 5 to 10 people follow you over. So what do you think? Right. Yeah. So what do you think is the reason for you that you were able to kind of get these people over like this?
I think a lot of everything with what has happened during quarantine for me has just been true transparency and honesty. Like I was super honest about the hesitation and why I wanted to go to Twitch and why I didn't want to go to Twitch and how Twitch would benefit me as a DJ and as someone needing to make a living during this time. I was honest about the fact that I hated Twitch. It was so confusing. It was way too many buttons. What are this and this? I'm not, I think analog girl in a digital world definitely is what represents me, which is bizarre that I'm on this complete living in this digital world 100%. But I was just honest. Like I was like, you guys, this is horrible, but this is what's best. Let's go. And then constantly really trying to help them learn it through the process. So we did a live and we were like, hey, sorry, my dogs are nut jobs.
It's okay.
Hey, here's what this means. Here's what, like, we're in this together. What are your questions? What are my questions? So I treated it the same way as I would have wanted to be walked into something that I did not want to go kicking and screaming. And I felt like we kind of did it together. We just went in kicking and screaming together. And I'm still very like, come on guys, swipe up. Here you go. Don't miss out. Don't miss out. So it's a constant hustle, just even now.
Yeah.
Getting them over.
Right. And I find Twitch can definitely be, even for just the average person getting on Twitch, it's like, what the hell's an emote? What is this? What is a bit? Like, there's so many little things that you almost have to train them on beforehand. We did a 12-hour stream for like a donation, a benefit, a dance team. Yeah. And literally everybody that follows them, they're all 30s, 40s, 50 years old. So I had to make a 1-minute video breaking down how to get onto Twitch because they were so concerned that people weren't gonna move over. And
they weren't, and if you hadn't done that video, you probably gained so much more by just taking the time to do that, because it's true. I mean, if you're not like 17, 12, 13, it's not as easy. Like Carrie came up to me and was like, hey, we need to figure out what to do for your channel points. I've already been on Twitch for like months now. And I'm like, what the fuck are channel points?
And you're like, you have 400,000 channel points. You're your average person.
Yeah. I'm like, what does that mean? I still don't know really what that means, but it's a lot of information. And I just, when new people come into the chat and they get confused, I just say, sit back, hang out with us for like a week. There's enough streams in the week for you to just watch what everyone else does. And then when you feel comfortable, you don't got to jump in there and start throwing and sending and doing. Just relax. We'll all get there.
Now,
So yeah,
but
it's interesting.
you still stream concurrently, right? You stream to both IG and Twitch?
No, no.
Oh, so
So I
you pull
don't.
Twitch completely. I mean
I
Instagram
am
completely.
100% Twitch unless a brand, I have a brand partnership. So like with Belladonna, which is a really awesome Latina streetwear brand company, I do every other Thursdays on their Instagram page, but they let me
Hmm.
run that concurrent with my Twitch page. So it's my
Gotcha.
Twitch page and then their Instagram page. So there are times where I am still, but my personal shows are always on Twitch.
Okay, gotcha,
Mhm,
gotcha. You're
mhm.
not even doing the video in the background of like your phone on the desk saying come to Twitch like some people do.
Um, no, I start every morning and I wait for a few minutes for people to come in or the mornings I stream and then I'll do the video. Yeah. Like, hey guys, swipe up, come
Yeah.
hang out. So I still sell it as often as I can. It helps, though that
Hmm.
helps in posting a flyer the night before with
Right.
even an image reminding people, don't forget tomorrow. I've noticed the difference. It really helps.
And for people that, just a little tip, because
Yeah.
as I have been doing all my flyers for all of these interviews,
Mhm.
I realize that it's best to do the flyer like almost 48 hours before.
Yeah.
Because if you, yeah, because of the way the algorithm works, like the people that are always
Right.
active in your chat, like they're going to see it immediately, but the people that aren't, it
Right.
won't come to the next day, and it'll be,
Right.
the day will be over. So so that's the one thing that I've learned. I've also learned to add more than one picture. So all those people that are doing flyers, do multiple flyers.
Oh, I never
Because
thought about that. I
yeah,
didn't. That's a good tip.
yeah, because that way, because everybody knows that when your flyer pops up, even if you send it early, people, as they're continuing to scroll through, will see that next flyer. It'll just pop itself back up again. So you're
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
a great
constantly
tip,
reminding
actually.
them, hey, if you give me the tip on Velcro, I'll give you the tip on that.
Carrie, write that down. She's in the chat. Write it down.
Yeah, I know people are probably like, why is he spending so much time doing so many different flyers? But
Dude,
that's
it,
why.
it it really, really, really makes a difference.
Yeah.
It definitely does, for sure. Hands down. I tested the waters without it to see, like, do I really need to do this?
Hmm.
I do. Yeah, it helps. I don't always get to, but it does help.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Real DJ Yoshi in the house. What's going on, fam? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging
Hi.
out today. All right, so let's talk a little bit about how did you build your IG following up? Now we know you're obviously an accomplished DJ. Um, where, when? I think the question is,
Okay.
when did you actually start DJing? Though I don't
God,
care.
man.
I don't care about a year. I mean, I'm like, not the age, just like, you know.
No, 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 no. Oh my God. He's like maybe 12, 13 years ago. It's been a
Okay.
while. I just always say over 10 years because I feel like after 10 years I forgot, but probably about 13, 14 maybe years. Yeah, I just started DJing. I wanted to be a backup dancer, and one of my friends was a DJ. I always loved the culture. My dad had vinyl. I've always knew how to play records,
Hmm.
on and off, not really the mixing part, but and I just picked it up as a hobby. And then it slowly progressed in like a 2-year span from a hobby to, you know, that's it. Like I had only been DJing, God, maybe 2 years, and it was my full-time job. It became my full-time job. And I've been DJing full-time, no other real job, for about 10 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. When I think about it, I think that too. Like, man, I really have never had to grow up. It's just bizarre.
Hey, hey, DJing is a profession. We actually need to kind of.
Yeah. No, no, no. It's a lot of work. It's hard. It's a lot of
Yeah.
sacrifice. If you
Hmm.
get to the level of getting to travel and getting to do really, really cool events, then you realize you're not getting to, spend as much time with your family. And,
Hmm.
it's not it's such a fun life, but there are things that you do sacrifice for it. So it is a lot of work, but we have a fun life. Our job is to the way I see it is our job is to make people happy and feel good for a very short amount of time and forget their troubles and their worries. And I take that very, very seriously. And that's my favorite part of it.
I
I'm
agree
a
100%.
therapist.
We kind of are, and people don't realize, especially. And by the way, I just want to give a shout out to Spinurita in the house. Make sure you follow
That's
Spinurita.
right. Love her.
She's
Love her.
she's dope. She's dope. Mighty Rel in the house. Good to see you, fam. Good to see you.
Thank you, Philly
Um,
B.
so obviously you are a touring, working touring, you doing a whole bunch of shows everywhere, depending on how you get booked.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to quarantine, because I always ask this question,
Okay.
how did quarantine affect you? So you're working, all of a sudden quarantine happens, and then what?
Oh my God. Yeah. I was definitely on the trajectory. Like the last probably 4 years were just really just a build up. Each year was better. Each year was better. I was hitting things and working for brands and companies and clubs. I was just climbing in the way that I felt good. Like, okay, this is definitely feeling good. I still was feeling like, is this what I'm going to be doing for a while? I need to start thinking about the future, but it felt good. And then 2020 was looking to be, one of the best years of events. Like I had booked a Coachella event and a couple different, really just cool shit, different festivals. I got to do really cool festivals with Golden Voice the year before. And then, I was DJing for the Dodge, like just cool shit. And then within a matter, I think of 24 to 48 hours, like 3 months of work was just washed because they were such bigger events. We knew then and like 48 hours, it was like 3 months of my life was gone. And I freaked the F out for sure. I was like, what am I going to do? And I think the level of, again, transparency and honesty in my Instagram, I am constantly chronicling my ridiculous friends and family because we're just like natural born idiots. So people connected with that throughout. There were people before quarantine, I think, that had they knew I was a DJ, but they just didn't really know. Cause I'm not DJing at the club. So yeah, I was just honest with everyone and kind of had a freak out moment and was like, okay, this has gotten really real. And, yo girl don't got a job and I've never felt like this and I don't know what I'm going to do. But I applied for Amazon warehouse. I was like, well, bitch, going back to work. Like, I'm not too good. I'm not too cool at all. I need to pay my bills and make sure that everybody around me is okay. So I applied for Amazon and then got the job. I was supposed to take my drug test on Friday. I'd been smoking a lot that week. So realistically, I probably really wouldn't have got the job, but whatever. Luckily, I didn't have to go. And I just started... I started streaming on Instagram right away. I think I was probably one of the first DJs to just wake up and need that shift change and just needed my mind to clear. And I started right away when quarantine started. And I think that's kind of how we got to here.
Lots of Venmo love and Cash App and all of those things.
Yeah. The first day, I think we had like 80 viewers maybe and I was like, oh, cool. Okay. That's cool. Great. 80 people want to kind of listen to music. Okay, cool. And then I was like, oh, I'll come back tomorrow. And they're like, come back. And I did. And then the next day it was like 300. And I was like, oh, shit.
Right.
Okay. Like, that's kind of cool. And then by Thursday, we were like at 700. And I thought, that still is like more than what I'm seeing from like the few other
the average this is like 30 to 100. That's a high number for IG. Unless you're like
it was
nice.
really, really fast. And then I think my excitement was like, okay, guys, I'll keep coming back tomorrow. And then I didn't take my drug test at Amazon warehouse and decided to stay at home and just DJ. We DJ'd every day for 3 months, every single day at noon.
Okay. Well, that also helps when you are DJing every single day.
Every day.
Yeah, people don't understand how much consistency matters. Yeah.
Huge. Exactly. Especially in a time like that when, no one really knew what the hell was going on and everyone was freaked out. It was just like this little cool powwow moment that we made to just for kind of zone that part out and feel a little normal in a weird way.
Yeah.
So it was just timing and I wish I could be like, oh man, I earned it or, oh man, no, or I planned it. No, it just happened and it was supposed to happen and I'm thankful. And that's just how it happened.
I think timing is definitely one of those. And I think a lot of people have benefited in this strange, weird way, benefited from quarantine.
Yes, I would be.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I'm actually one of those people too. I did a couple of videos and they blew up. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Would this have happened if we weren't in quarantine? And then that opened the door for many other things. I was already just like you on the trajectory. I mean, my name was building and all those things. And then all of a sudden I was like, okay, quarantine, like, what do I do with myself now? And I just started, I'm just gonna start putting out content, more and more content. I'm gonna do it as much as possible. and people start looking, and then you start talking to Serato and start talking to all these other people.
Freaking awesome.
But I think people don't understand. IG is great, obviously. For communicating with your fans and even getting, for instance, I'm sure some of your brand deals probably came because they saw your IG.
Hands down.
And all
Hands
those
down.
Exactly. But Twitch has opened up so many doors just for exposure that I think a lot of people don't know. Like,
Oh my God,
it's
for
one,
sure.
you know what I mean? It's one thing to be kind of sitting there and going, okay, I'm on Twitch and I have my following. It's another thing when, a Serato says, hey, come DJ for us on our channel. Like, this is Serato. This is everybody in the world that's a DJ is looking at this.
Yeah.
So yeah, could you have thought that, hey, in 2 months from now, I'm going to be DJing on Serato's site for thousands of people? You know what I mean?
No.
It's got to be such a weird feeling.
It for sure is a weird feeling. I DJ'd just like maybe a week or two ago for Beatport, which is like the number
that's
one
huge too.
freaking like it's Beatport. I mean, it's gigantic. And the lineup was like Cascade, Reva Star, Junior Sanchez, Angie V. And I was like, this is not okay. Like, this is just not like, no, it felt really, really weird. And Cascade went on, and then I went on right after Cascade, and it was like, I remember thinking, okay, Cascade has like 9,000. If I can just keep 2,000 of that, I'll be right. I will feel like I had a great night. I will have a great night, and I will feel good about what I did. And we did like 10,000. I think we hit almost like 10,000 following. And I was like, holy shitballs. Like that's crazy. So yes, quarantine. Do you feel bad though sometimes? Like, I feel bad being like, quarantine saved my life, because it's really done so much. I feel bad.
So yeah, there's definitely a double-edged sword to it where it's almost hard to say and to the world, like you might say to your friends or whatever, hey, look, I can't believe like what this has done for me.
Yeah.
I'm growing. But to be out in like IG world and Facebook's, hey, look how great I've done. Meanwhile, your homie's just like, hasn't been working in 6 months.
Which majority of our friends, I think, are having a very, 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 very hard time, which I understand, because had this not happened for me, I would be right there with him,
Right. But I will say this. I am a big proponent of get off your ass and do what you need to do. And you said, you know what? I'm not DJing. I'm gonna at least apply for Amazon Warehouse. Yeah. First step. Do what I have to do.
I bought a car 5 days before the shutdown, like an idiot. I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy my dream car, which is my Jeep. Like, that's all I want. This is what I want. Sign the lease. 5 days later, bitch, you don't got a job. I was like, that was probably not a smart move, which in turn now it was fine. But hell yeah, I was freaking out.
Oh, and your new shoes are looking pretty nice, by the way. I
I love them.
What size are those?
They're 20s. I'm not going to lie, though, you guys. I'm just going to keep it real. That ride is shit. Like, I was like, so I paid extra. It looked real cute, but I'm like, the whole drive. Like, when it starts going too fast, it's so uncomfortable. But it's fine. It looks nice. I don't have to drive that far anyways.
Is your alignment on from when they put it on? Are you sure your alignment's good?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I should probably check that. Because it's like, it's fine until I start hitting like 60 plus.
That sounds like alignment. Like 100% alignment.
Well, what alignment, whatever. I don't have to go that far right now anyway.
Can they fix that on Twitch? Because I don't want to be in the shop.
Carrie, write that down. Yeah, I love it. I do.
So how much does Carrie help your cause?
Oh,
because
my God.
in just alone in the last 20 minutes, I've heard Carrie write that down like 30 times.
It's kind of our thing. It's our thing. Like, I'll stream and I'll be like, Carrie, write this down. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a tour of what this production is. So I see.
All right, hold up. Yep.
Okay. I don't even know if you can see. This is like my DJ setup, right? So that's my dirty couch right there with a bunch of shit on it. And there's my dog. And then when you turn, I'm facing Carrie's little section, which is there. So that's her office. It's where I read my chat up there. She's always my right hand. Carrie is so insanely helpful to me because, like I said, I am an analog girl, and learning
Hmm.
all of this shit was not anything I wanted to do at the time. Like everybody else during this pandemic, Carrie found herself unemployed. And so I was like, all right, fine. I will make this when I make the switch to Twitch, like I will cut you in and you learn all that stuff that I don't want to learn, and let's, come and work for me if we can make this happen. We'll see how it does. And I now still know shit about this because Carrie has gone above and beyond and learned everything imaginable that she can learn. Like we fight all the time because we're very like both alpha.
Hmm.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, ah, and she's also, see, you guys see my end. You see me popping off, but you don't see because she's not on the camera. Um, so we drive each other crazy, but we work really, she's such a great, great, great friend and great worker, and is like, works really well under pressure when I'm like attacking her and expecting her to get it done. And she's just amazing. She knows. And here's another thing, knew nothing about any of this, not in computers, not
Hmm.
in any shape, way, or form in any kind of tech position. Like literally was like, oh, I was up till 5 a.m. watching YouTube do this and da da da. And so she's great. So Carrie mans a lot of the tech stuff. And I don't know what the F I'm going to do when she actually gets a real job. Um, but your girl gonna be learning. But yeah, so Carrie's a huge, huge part of the show running well, me being able to pay attention to the chat and not having to worry about graphics. We plan our graphics in advance.
Hmm.
We set all that up. We stage, we kind of sit around and bounce ideas and say, okay, here's what's coming up this week. She keeps me on track. Um, I'm all over the place. So Carrie's kind of
Yeah.
like, okay, hey, what's this week? What are we getting done? What do we need? What graphics do we want? How do we want this to look? And it's a great team. And hopefully one day I'm in a position to pay her, to never have to go back to work. That would be great.
Now, does she do your graphics also, or do you contract out?
She has started to. So in the beginning, I did them. It was
Hmm.
I still really love it. I don't have the time that I want to, but that was becoming fun too. Is just planning the graphics part. It was like you're designing your own music videos kind of thing. And I was like, this shit is great. I love it. I
Right.
love the visuals. And then I think once Carrie started figuring out kind of my style and the way I wanted to go, she would start adding stuff and I'd be like, okay, that looks good. That looks good. And now I'm like, okay, you got it. All yours,
Right.
buddy. Go ahead.
So who handles the wardrobe?
That would be me for sure. Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah. That
Um,
would be me.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about the family aspects of your life because,
Okay.
as you said, you're wild and crazy family, and I remember to this day the first day I saw Ray Ray come
Oh
out.
God.
Tell me a little bit about that. I mean, look, we know it's your dad, and there's a little bit of comedy aspects just because he's a character. He really is a character.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. He's been like that forever, my whole life. Um, Ray Ray's my dad. So if you don't
Mhm.
follow me, you'll have to come and shoot a follow. You'll have to check us out on Sundays. My dad is a OG cholo. Like there's no really other way to explain him. And a lot of people think it's so interesting that that's my dad. But
Mhm.
which I guess it is. It is. I think if someone that you watched and you didn't really associate that whole thing and you see her dad's this little 5'3", 5'4", I'll be generous, 5'4" cholo, like there's the emotes, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just freaking hilarious. And I started bringing him in on Sundays because all that music, all the oldies and all the funk and old school, I know it because of him. And I am a DJ and I know a crazy amount of music. Like I
Mhm.
pride myself, I don't love to toot my own horn, but a bitch will toot. I know a lot of music.
No,
Um,
your music knowledge is impressive. It really is.
I just love it, but it comes from Ray Ray. So I thought it was only right. Like, hey, Dad, why don't you come over on Sunday? We're doing this really cool. Um, yeah, Rel, his socks are high as for sure. We do this cool Sunday thing, and you should come and check it out because we had already started gaining like this really great following. And he's like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, yeah, okay, I'll come. Oh, he came one time and that was it. Like he was just The first, I wish, because it was on IG days, I wish I had
Oh,
the
right. They
first
recorded
one
it.
on, because he
Hmm.
was real like, real cool. And now he
Yeah,
comes in and I'm just like this guy, but that's him. He's crazy and he's hilarious and he's like my child, my dad child. And our dynamic is funny because I'm the parent and he's
that's it.
not.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's
Chris
my real
Villa in the
life. That's
house.
really my real life.
Right. Okay. I
Yeah.
and I think that's one of the things that people gravitate to because it almost feels like you're at the barbecue. And
And that's the plan. Yeah,
mhm,
that's one thing
yeah,
that I will say I always tried to do with COVID, quarantine, was just give us a feeling of nostalgia and of feeling of. I wanted you to feel those times where you felt safe, you felt secure, and you felt good. So a
yeah,
lot of people know me as kind of a throwback DJ in a sense. And although I don't consider myself that, I can understand why people think that because I've definitely created that energy during this pandemic. Just because what's the point of wanting to think about popping bottles and all that? Like we can't do that. That's not a reality. So um, I definitely wanted to create that. So I'm trying to work my way into bringing myself back to the current state of mind, even in my shows, and it's been doing really good.
yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah,
Agreed.
yeah.
And how how much further do you think you can take like the green screen and everything that you do to kind of keep it lively? You know, because
Um,
the only thing I have noticed is that some people, like there are people like Four Color Zach, who is just
yeah,
such a character that
yeah,
he's just entertaining no matter what.
yeah,
Even though it's the same stuff, you just can't look away. You know,
yeah.
how much farther do you think you can take this part of it?
That's a great question because that's kind of where I'm at. Because even for me, I'm hyper and I get very, like I just want to. Sorry, I'm gonna open this door because my dogs just keep running around this
That's
room,
like, let me
scratching around.
out.
Um, go. Um, I'm at that point now. It's stale to me. It's been done. We've done it. We've ridden it. What is the next step? So I don't know. I think that's me and Carrie. I know I definitely want to stay. I feel like my supporters definitely are just as intrigued as DJing it, the
Mhm.
music is my personal life and the people surrounding me. So I do want to try to get like a talk show type thing going. But I want it to
Definitely.
feel like a talk show. Like I want
Right.
the green screen look to look. Um, I want it to feel like you're at, a little Chola Jay Leno or whatever. Um,
Right.
so I'm gonna push it as far as I can. I'm gonna keep on trying to recreate the will as many times as I
Hmm.
can and shift. Same sauce, just a little different,
Yeah.
direction. I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna push it until the freaking wheels fall off.
I think people underestimate themselves. They put themselves in
Yes.
boxes
And I was one
and
of
they're
those
like,
people. So yeah.
right. Yeah, I can't leave my box because then I'm going to lose everybody that I am. And it's like, no, just it's okay to reinvent yourself as long as you still retain who you are as a person.
Hands down. I think we should be reinventing ourselves always.
Right.
Times change, times change, people change, things change, outlooks change, our environment changes. So
Hmm.
if we're staying stagnant in our ways and our ways of thinking, we're doing ourselves a huge disservice by not just allowing that growth, allowing ourselves to move with that. And I used to hate change for sure. So um, it's a new place for me too. But yeah, you should. It's funny. People are always like, oh, that person changed. Like, oh, that person got money and they changed. Or, oh, that person got followers and they changed. Or that person, yes, they did change because that is a big change in their life. They should be
Yeah.
changing. Like,
Yeah.
stay
Yeah.
true to who you are, but adapt and push forward.
And I can't even imagine because my numbers are fine, but I
Okay.
can't imagine the amount of just constant communication and DMs and whispers that you're getting on a daily basis. Because even I'm like, I don't have time for this right now. I don't have time to talk to this or do this. I can't
Yeah.
even imagine how that is.
That
Just
okay, I'm gonna keep it so real. That is literally 50%, if not more, of the job as well. Of maintaining this
mhm,
type of community, of this type of group, engaging when I'm not DJing is God, a lot, you know, and I sometimes I
Yeah.
feel bad because I'm short and I'm just like, and
Right.
yep, yeah, thank you. I definitely try to heart everyone that I will for sure. I heart every comment that I see just to let you know that I acknowledge you. I'm thankful. I might not have the time to get into a full conversation with you because guess what? The list of the
Of other
folders
things. Yeah.
other than you are
Uh-huh.
insane. And so um it does become a lot. And I think when you start realizing the line of this is now pulling me away from the real people in my life
Right.
and the real human interactions, and that's what happened to me. I had to kind of start creating
Yeah.
that barrier of thank you instead of timing out. Thank you, TY, heart, emojis are freaking great, man, because you
Yeah,
can
they
still
really
get
are.
your point across around those. So it is a job, dude. Keeping up all
Yeah.
these people you see on this social media and they gain followers, not that it's a job. It really is.
But I would assume that a lot of
Uh-huh.
yours are, hey, it's great, blah, 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 amazing. A couple of questions here and there. See, I get tech questions all
Oh
the time.
God, I would die. But see,
I
the
can't get
cool
this
thing
to
about
work.
that, you can copy and paste. I would have like a folder of copy and
I,
paste.
I have links. Anytime somebody's like, I have this, I'm like, here's a link to my YouTube. Watch
Perfect.
this. Watch
Yeah,
that. And you got to do what you got to do. You got to do I had to minimize because it was getting crazy, especially when I did the video on streaming to IG. And I'm wondering if Carrie actually watched that video. You have to ask her that. Um,
definitely. She's in the chat.
um, but I did that video, and then the world just opened up, and every DJ that I mean, Wesley Snipes messaged me. Yeah,
What?
Wesley Snipes. I had
Blake?
a phone call. Yes, I had a phone, and what's funny thing is Wesley Snipes. He sent the email because first he sent his like assistant. She's like, "Hey, Wesley Snipes wants to talk to you." And I'm like, "What? Which Wesley Snipes? Oh, the no, for real." So she goes, "I'll have him email you just because I know you don't believe me." So he emails me, and he literally says, Cleveland Terry, I kid you not, it's the Daywalker. That's the first line out of his email.
No, he did not. That would lead me to believe I don't believe you even more. He'd be like, this is not real.
So now I'm just like intrigued. I'm like, okay, fine. So I gave him my number, and then he called, and we had like a 45-minute chat, and it was the
Wow.
most surreal experience I've ever had in my life. Because
That is crazy. Because you're just out there. And that's the thing about it. I think people think we just have these plans. Like we're planning,
right,
like, no, nobody's planning shit. We're so damn, I don't know what the hell I'm doing all the time. So it's like you put this cool shit out there. So yeah, I can imagine because you just do it so blindly. You're just like, and then you forget about it. If you're like me, as
right,
soon as it's out, on to the next.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I do a lot of the videos that I do are really just like, hey, I think I'm gonna do this video, and then I do it, and I have to go to the next video. That's
Yeah.
YouTube. I can't just
Yeah.
stop and let me just enjoy the glory of this. Like if I don't put
Never.
another video out, there's no more views. There's no more, everything changes. So
It changes fast. But I will say
yeah,
for you, I think you should definitely take the time to enjoy the moments because we're going to look back and they're going to be like, even if it's like 10 minutes of your day, like, hey,
yeah.
today was really dope. I try to do that daily. It
That's actually not a
helps.
bad idea.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
really
no,
does help. Like at some point in your day, like I have this really cool journal that's actually helped me a lot. And it just tells you 5 things that you were thankful. You makes you write down or 3 things that you were thankful for the day. And one thing that you did kind for like someone. And that has
mhm,
been a game changer because now I'm mentally always thinking of how I'm going to write that tonight when I get
right.
in before bed. So throughout my day, I'm looking to do something kind for someone. So those things help. But yeah, definitely pay attention because it just helps
Yeah,
because
I
we're so
am
quick.
right. I'm kind of a workaholic. So
Yeah, same.
if I'm not doing something, there's definitely a problem. So
Yeah, same.
my wife always she doesn't my wife understands what I am now. For the
No.
longest time, well, what I mean was, so Paris and I started to Check One Two, the DJ company,
Hmm.
and prior to that, we had a hip hop group, And
hmm
so when we started the Check 1 2 company, I was working a day job. So I had to work my day job from,
hmm
8 to 5 and then take calls, do client meetings after work. So I've been like perpetually working all the time. So then
Yeah.
when I finally was able to do Check 1 2 full time, I had more time on my hands, but it felt like I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah,
So
you felt guilty about it.
yeah, exactly. So because Check 1 2, and you probably understand this, you're, being a creative, because of Check 1 2, I was working a lot and we were doing, I'm always on the phone with clients, meetings. I stopped being creative. I stopped making music. I stopped DJ,
Yes.
and I was getting frustrated. So that's the reason that I actually created my YouTube channel, because I needed an
Okay.
outlet, and then it went on from there. So I think it's important. So back to what I was saying. So being a workaholic, when quarantine hit, I don't have that day job anymore. What
Yeah.
am I supposed to do with myself? So
Yeah.
I started doing YouTube, and then because of YouTube, and because of Twitch, then brands started coming to me, and then I'm working with you know Denon and Pioneer and Serato and all these people,
Yeah.
and like so it's just like it's nonstop. I don't know any other way.
I think there's just people like you and I, we don't know exactly it. We don't know any other way. And sitting, like I would always joke that I would get sick twice a year. And the only reason I
Mhm.
would get sick is because God was like, okay, girl,
Yes,
done.
take a break.
You
Uh-huh.
need the only way you're gonna sit down and lay in bed and do nothing and watch TV is if you're draining from the nose, you can't get up, and your body hurts. So man
Right.
down, because I just can't, And then a lot of times I'm like this, and what looks like but I'm
Mhm.
on Pinterest, I'm on other um,
Oh. Mhm.
DJ things, or I'm just even scrolling Instagram for I follow a lot of like aesthetic type. What's it called? um Even just people, like I'm just so inspired by people and the different things that people do, or you see an idea that maybe a beauty influencer does and you're like, okay, how can I do something similar like that on my end? So our brain
Mhm.
is definitely always thinking. And
Yeah.
but people, I can see how people think we're not doing a lot. Like I can see how my friends
Right.
can think I'm just like, but
Yeah. Right.
I'm like processing shit.
Yeah.
um so yeah, I get what you're saying, hands down. Being a workaholic, it's all we know.
Yeah.
But we're able to prevail in you know in situations like this.
Yeah. A lot of people, when I first, actually pretty much everything that I've done, I've had people tell me it's not a good idea. And then I've made it successful and they're
Good
like,
for
I told
you.
you it was a good idea. You're like,
Yeah,
shut
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. Oh, isn't that the best? Oh, ugh, it's so good. My friends basically know at this point, like if you want her to do something, tell her she can't do it, or you think it's a bad idea, because I'm going to be like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
it's
If,
happening.
if, if, if I'm uncomfortable, that probably means it's a good thing,
For sure, hands
you know?
down. I
Yeah.
agree all the way, all the way.
Carrie said challenge accepted, by the way.
Yeah, that's our thing. Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. Yeah.
Um,
It's the rebellious spirit in me, but it's provided to be helpful now
yeah.
as I'm older.
Now, what are you rocking, by the way? Is that an SZ? Looks like an SZ on your
Yes,
controller, or is
it
that
is. It
okay?
is. It's the Pioneer DDJ SZ. I got this, the gold edition.
I saw
Um,
that. Yep.
I got it because I was on turntables for tons of years. I
Okay.
DJed on turntables I mean, I remember I DJed on vinyl for 2 years. And then I made the switch to Serato. And then I was like, I'll never play on, which is, the amount of times that I eat my own shit is, you would think I like it. I would never play on Serato, or I would never, play on CDJs. And then I started DJing in Vegas, started opening at Tao, and it was only CDJs. Like,
Right.
so I had to learn really freaking quick how to be in a main room and play on CDJs. So instead of buying one $2,000 CDJ, I bought this one
Yeah.
because the platters were CDJ size. I still
Hmm.
got the feel, and the whole unit was like $1,500.
Yeah.
I got two and a
People don't.
mixer.
Yeah. People don't understand, and I tell people this all the time on my thing. It's like get an all in one. Get a controller.
Dude,
It's gonna give you
get
the
a
same.
controller.
It's gonna give you the same, and it's gonna be cheaper and lighter. and it's just going to make your life easier. And people just, no, I got to get those CDJ 3000s. It's like, you really want to spend $2,500 a CDJ? Like that's good for you?
It was just really, yeah, no, definitely not. And like someone, I think it was Rel or someone, yeah, Rel is like, needles are headache. They're a pain in the freaking ass.
They really are.
They're a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I'm hyper. If you watch my set, I'm jumping up and down. I love dancing. I can't tell you how many times I mess up my sets. And I'm like, whatever, it's fine. And also, I think it's fair to say that turntables aren't really out there anymore. So the lack of turntables means the lack of repair, the lack of having them tuned up, of making sure they're working to where they should be. So for me, I ate my shit and definitely switched over. I love my controller. I get DJs in the chat all the time on Twitch. That's like, oh, she's not a real DJ. She's on a controller. Oh, she's not on turntable. Why does she have that? She doesn't even do anything with it. And it's just like, God, suck a dick. Yeah, but I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
If you're starting and you want to DJ, I would say go SC if you have the means. If you don't, go smaller, but it's just a great.
The only issue that I've ever had with the SZ is the size. It's a little big for like a mobile person.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's good for
Agreed.
stationary, but not for mobile.
Hands down.
But it's a great controller. I'm a big fan of the 1000 DJ 1000.
Yep.
That's the newest controller which kind of emulates the new CDJs.
I agree.
But yeah, you can't go wrong though. I rocked the SZ and SX2 for all my mobile gigs for like a year.
It gets the job done. It's
Exactly.
like if it's if Nike wants to pay me to just play music in their store, I don't need fancy shit. That's, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not there for that. It's not showcasing me. I'm really there for showcasing music and the brand. Yeah, this is not at all very good for mobile, very stationary. The Hercules 500, they sent me that, and again, does the job.
I'm trying to figure out how Hercules actually stays in business, because it seems like they sent that controller to every single DJ on the planet. I'm like, how are you making money right now?
He did, and I got the email right away, and I remember thinking like, ooh, I need a littler one for sure. Like, sign me up. So yeah, I don't know, but it's cool. It does a job, you know. I like there are features on it that I do like that the Pioneer one doesn't have.
Right.
So.
Well, and the SZ is an older model, so a lot of the new tricks are on the newer ones. But if it's not broken, you know, it's hard to buy a new controller
queen of that. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Queen of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Fortunately for me, now being in the industry, people send me stuff to just test for long periods of time. Like I still have the S11. It's sitting over there, but now I'm on the 72. So I'm a little jaded, unfortunately. Okay. Like, I think I'm going to do which a little bit spoiled, but
it's okay. It's okay.
Well, people don't realize, like, they see me now and they're like, oh, see, Pioneer fanboy or this and that. I'm like, look, I bought every single piece of equipment for the past 3 years up until NAMM January. Okay. I was buying every single piece of my equipment to review, to use, whatever. So it was up until NAMM when Mojax, you know Mojax from DJ City? Okay. No. He's like the reviewer for all things DJ related. And he got me in the door for like In Music, which is Rain and Denon and all these things. And then that kind of opened up the door for everything else. But before that, everything that I did, either I was using, I purchased, or I just read the specs and did like a My Thoughts video on. So people don't realize, they think that, but that's all. It's all grinding. It's paying your dues and getting to the point where now I can do this. But it didn't just come for free.
You paid your dues. You nailed it. You paid your dues.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like the people, you know, even on Twitch right now, where it's like, you know, I'm not a partner. Okay. And I'm okay with not being a partner yet, but I'm pushing, my numbers are up, everything. It's just a matter of time.
Yes.
But there are people that are like, I don't want that time. I want it now. So they got bots, they got this, they got people. And it's like, that's fine. I guess I'm not mad at you for doing it, but you know, that's not my thing. I want to be able to look back and be like, I did this. This is what I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was one of those other people when I went over to Twitch because I'd been getting hassled for so long.
Hmm.
Like, come on, come on, come on. So when I did go over, I was lucky and I got it fast. Pretty much,
Hmm.
it's I walked into a partnership, but I was
Well,
pretty
your
aware
numbers represented though also, so that's another
prior,
thing.
right, right. So
Yeah.
so it was kind of, I think with Twitch, it was very like in my thought process, and my manager Josh was he was more in contact with the Twitch family than in handling all that. I was kind of like, okay, well, like I'm not, if I'm coming over, like I'm coming over. I'm not gonna
Right.
sit in a waiting room and figure like if I'm doing it or I'm doing it. So
Hmm.
I was lucky, but again, yeah, I built it from outside and it was kind of coming in. But I can understand how people um feel that way for sure, and I have friends that have did the hours and did the time and are still waiting and are having, so
Hmm.
I get how it's a pain in the ass.
It's it's funny because speaking of this waiting and transition, the fact that the record industry, the music industry, is starting to push these
Right.
DMCA's across the board. And a lot of people, especially the people in here, I know there are a lot of DJs and they're like, God, man, why, the industry, why are they always coming at us? Based upon my research, and I might do a video on this, based upon my research, they've been coming after Twitch. So that's this misunderstanding. They think it's the
Okay.
DJs. This has been a thing with Twitch for years, where because a lot of gamers, like, look, you do 1,000 up to 10,000 people, okay, on a stream. You are super small potatoes compared to a gamer
For
that has
sure.
70,000 people watching their stream.
Totally.
So yeah, so all of these people that are playing background music in their games, those are the ones that the industry's been coming after forever. Like, hey, they're playing our music. We want our pay. So
Right.
so we think it's because of us. It's not really because of us.
Um,
So
I would hope that they would be able to. Yeah, I agree. I definitely think I can see that being the case because exactly. And I feel like I'm sure you got the email too. You got the email that I felt like. Now, granted, I'm not a word by word reader. I'll like pick and
mhm.
choose the shit I want to see. Um,
Sure.
but I did feel like I saw a part where Twitch kind of was like, you're such a small part of us that we're just trying to kind of figure out what makes sense for
But
us, because why are we going to spend
mhm,
all these money on rights when you guys we really aren't doing the numbers, DJs aren't doing numbers of what this app is really used to or
right.
capable of. So yeah, I would hope that it would suck because I've busted my ass, and as of
Yeah.
you have, we have busted our ass with the app. But if the shit hits the fan, then we'll regroup and refigure it out again. But I'm not gonna worry about it until it happens.
Until
But
it happens.
but it is there
But
in my mind. That day it really
yeah.
kind of messed me up and was like,
Yeah.
here we go.
I think that I honestly don't think they have a choice. I think they're going to have to do something. And it's funny because Facebook, which is really a slap in the face to DJs, I'm just going to be flat out. So Facebook kicked everybody off, said you can't DJ anymore. Then they
Okay.
opened up their gamer channel, and they tried to get a whole bunch of Twitch streamers to come to Facebook. One of the caveats was you're able to play anything you want. And they paid for the rights. They're actually paying the ASCAP, the BMI, the labels. They're paying licensing fees for the gamers, just not for the
What?
DJs. Yeah, isn't that bullshit?
It 100%. Okay, it is. But I also think that's where us as DJs have to step our game up collectively as a group because we see the
Yeah.
potential of where we can be,
Hmm.
where we can't, what we can achieve, and it just takes more of us. Like, well, you know what? F it. Like, boom, boom. I deleted everything. My page is washed.
Yeah,
So
so did
for
I.
me, it was just not worth doing, and excuse me, not worth doing any of that. I was like, let's watch the page. Oh well, if you don't catch the live, you just don't catch the show. Um,
Right,
so
as it
it
should be.
does,
You're not making a mixtape. You're
yeah,
performing.
for sure, hands down.
Hmm.
So I think, yeah, I think if more DJs took this thing of what we can do and take it a little more seriously. But see, then it's hard because if you can argue you can't game in a club, you can't game in an open arena. So it is geared towards people that basically live at home and don't see the daylight. But I don't know. I don't know. You could rack your brain in a million which ways to try to figure it out. I'm gonna ride it all the way until I get arrested or whatever. I don't know.
I don't think anybody's going to get arrested. I think at some point the algorithm, if they don't want to fight it, because right now, look, if Mixcloud can charge a fee, then so can Twitch. And I don't think there's one DJ out there. If Twitch said you need to pay $50 to $100 a month, I don't think one DJ is going to look at his numbers and go, "That's all? Okay, let's do it." And everybody wins. So there's definitely, I think that would be the first and easy, because it's not about the record label. The industry doesn't want to just ban them. They just want their money.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It's just, you know what I mean?
Press. Yeah,
it's just a matter of doing that.
It's like the freaking mafia, for sure. They're just going to press until they get what they want. And I get it. I totally get it. Everybody needs to make their money. I think my only issue with it is, and DJ Michelle Page was ranting about it, is, when you need your records played, you're sending you're sending us this music via email. Play these records.
I get it all the time.
We're not working at clubs. Yeah, we're not out. So you need our help, but when we need your help to do so, it's kind of like, and that's a little bit of a problem that I have. So,
and I've had people literally tell me, "Hey, play this on your stream next."
Oh, no.
The email.
No, I'm getting those emails now. So the emails that I used to get, now I'm getting introductions. Hey, Angie V, caught your thing. I'm a rep for, whatever this is. These are my songs. I would love to get them in rotation. I get, how much can I pay you to spin these records? So I'm getting a different type of email than I was before. Yeah. Specifically geared towards streaming. So it's like, you got to know that I'm technically not allowed to play the songs that you're about to give me. But okay, let's figure it out.
Now, have you looked at other alternatives like the Mixcloud?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't. The way that I am, I don't know. I haven't. I really haven't. So I have been pretty creative in creating revenue outside of, I have an OnlyFans. I don't do any nudes, or I don't even really post photos. It's not that type, but I thought if I can use a subscribed base type platform, how can I feel like I'm giving something in return for a subscription? So I do mixes, I do a weekly mix, and I drop the mix of the week, and my subscribers get 4 mixes a month. So I think if the shit were to hit the fan, it would just really, really push me to doing a more show-like type content where I don't have to worry, because I'm still going to have those fault. The presence will still be there. It will just have to shift, and then I'll figure out how the DJ platform fits in somewhere else. So I'll always adjust to what I have to when it comes to Twitch. It's just,
and I think exposure is but also there's nothing wrong with having exposure on many different platforms, and every platform you do something a little different. Like when I tell people, don't worry about Twitch, just use it until they tell you you can't anymore.
But for sure.
But I'm also like, just in case, let me create this little talk show and do that so I can, keep a presence in Twitch. I still DJ, I still do my pop-ups, but this is now kind of my focal point. But Mixcloud might be an option. There's another one called Play 24. That Play 24. I'm thinking that's the sports commercial. Play DJ 24. Play DJ TV. I'm sorry. That's another one that's been popping up. I keep meaning to review it. I guess it's now time to do that. So I think there are avenues. I think that people have just really fallen in love, and I have too, with what Twitch is. There is such a camaraderie on Twitch right now that it's really hard to be able. It really is family.
It's become a family. So, there's people in the chat that I know personal things about. Basically, base it on our just streams, and you become connected, and it's fun. And the hype trains are fun, obviously, because I'm benefiting financially from
Mhm.
them. But even just like, can we do it? Like, ooh, and watching other people. And one of my favorite things about Twitch is the gifting of subs, because it's
Yes.
like you're gifting to someone a gift that they didn't have. They still feels, you don't know what that person's going through and maybe can't afford to sub, and then they get this gift and
Right.
that just made their day. And so it's like the combination of the little things that we all do as a group, as a family. You're helping me by tuning in, you're helping someone else by being able to give them a sub. It's great, you know.
Hmm.
It's awesome. It's
Yeah.
I
I
love it.
try to I try to actually sub give people subs on my channel too. Because
Yeah,
sometimes I think
yeah.
that's kind of cool when when the guy's like, "Hey, here you go. Thanks for hanging out." And they're like, "Wow, he was actually looking at me and took care of me," as opposed to kind of it being randomized. Because sometimes it's really cool to be direct with like, "Here you go. This is for you."
I definitely try to connect individually with people on it. Like Carrie kind of handles that. So Carrie will gift the subs because she's handling that part.
Hmm.
But for me, I try to like, to the point where the music is so secondary, our connection is kind of first. So if you're like a hardcore
Yeah.
DJ, jump in and I'm like, intro sounds like shit, I can very well understand how people are like, ah, she's not a very great DJ. Because the music is great, but the connection to me is what's more important. And so I've learned to, and that was hard for me too. Moving over to Twitch, I was like, oh, they want to talk and I have to talk and I want to mix and I like the music and I just want to get
Uh-huh.
lost in the music and I can't because I have to engage. But I got over that pretty quick. Uh, it's fun. And people like to be, they like to hear their name. They like to be shouted out. They like to feel that they're seen. And I get that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
probably the only good thing from the club vibe that came to Twitch. You know,
Yeah.
shouting out when you walk in the club. Like, there's nothing better than being shouted out. You know.
Yeah. No,
Um.
hands down.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Okay. You know what? I'm concerned that I have a delay on my voice, and I'm looking at myself, and it looks like I have a delay. So,
On your end,
do me a
but not on
favor.
mine. Mhm.
No, you're fine. Do me a favor. Just kind of read through the chat real quick. I'm gonna refresh this browser as we do that.
Okay.
So,
Let's see.
okay.
Yep. A shout out to El Camino in the chat. She is the queen of subs on my channel. Kills it. Always gifting subs. Throwing it out there. El Camino La Mera Mera. What else do we have? Oh, and the chat is gone. Oh, now the chat's back. Okay. Oh, now the chat is popping as hell. Engaging is 100%. Yeah, yeah. I think with this newfound thing, it is.
All right.
Are
Hopefully,
we
I'm a
back?
little better on. Yep, I'm better. I'm good. I think.
Geo.
Who knows?
No, it was good on my end. You seem good.
Okay. Good. Yeah. It's a stupid app. I'm sticking with it, and I don't know why. You know, when you do some things, you're like, why am I still using this app? Because I
Because
have
it's
faith in them.
easier than having to learn something else. What up, Chris Villa? Hey, shout out to Chris Villa,
Yeah,
man.
Chris Villa in the chat. That's my man. Chris, listen, everybody follow Chris Villa.
Yeah.
If anybody was late to Twitch, it was Chris Villa.
Chris.
There's only one person that was later than Chris Villa, and that was DJ Prophet. I don't know if you know DJ Prophet.
Yeah, I do. I do actually.
Yeah, yeah. He
Honey,
took forever to come to Twitch. Forever.
it's not
Uh,
easy. It's a
but still.
lot. It is a lot. It's so much that I have to hire a friend to handle it. Like for me, it is. I don't know. It's a lot.
Mhm.
Oof. Even
I
equipment.
see. Oh yeah. No, that's a whole different animal right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's shit that I bought.
having a good stream, you're probably like, why am I paying for this? You need this. Why do I need this?
Yeah,
And then you
dude.
look, you're like, oh, it's that one little thing right there. That's all it does.
Carrie like was like, oh, I got this connector thing because the cords were coming out, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit in here for sure.
There is a little bit of Stockholm syndrome. I can't lie. You know what I like? It's funny because Restream is not a small company, but this particular portion is small. And I don't know, something about it. Like everybody else is on StreamYards and I've used StreamYards, but I like the visuals better on Restream. The resolution is better on Restream. When I download the video
100%.
after the fact, it's better on Restream. StreamYards just
And
looks
this is for you
grainy.
to be on multiple platforms, right?
Yes and no. This is
Okay.
actually it's to be on multiple platforms, but this particular thing, this live studio, is the kind of like the StreamYard. So I use it to be on multiple platforms, but it's more about being able to put people in the chat, like like being able to do this and bring on live
See,
guests without having to do Skype and all that stuff or Zoom. Like it's just an
okay.
easy thing. So I use it.
I gotta
The
learn
price
this shit.
wise, seriously. Price wise, they're all StreamYards, Restream. They're about the same. There's one called Ecamm. They're all good, but
Okay.
this might be my last month on Restream.
Ooh, where do you think you're going?
I think I might open up Ecamm for a minute because
Okay.
I am on a Mac. But if that doesn't work, I'll be going to StreamYards.
Well, I think in someone
Unfortunately.
for you who does tutorials or it's
Mhm.
perfect. It's great for you to kind of hop around because you can kind of let us know, people like me
Right.
who don't want to have to put in that time and energy, um, what I should do and what I should be doing. So thank you.
Exactly. Aiden Scott in the chat. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Make sure you
Hey,
follow Aiden Scott. And let's see who else we got in the chat. By the way, I have my own questions for Angie, but if you have questions, throw them in the chat. Throw them in the chat, and if we can answer them, we'll spend a little time on those. So,
yeah.
Raider Nation, how do
Oh,
you feel? How do you feel about the Raiders going to Las Vegas, though?
I absolutely hate that the Raiders are not in California. Uh,
Hmm.
that is a very heartbreaking feeling for me. With that being said, I believe in a positive to every negative. And the positive is I can go to every Raider game by just getting in my car and driving to Vegas far easier than I ever could when they were in the Bay.
True.
So I hate it, but I also will accept the good that is with it. And also, I love that Vegas has never had a team. So it doesn't belong to anybody. It's
Hmm.
ours. And I like that as being, a girl and it's mine. I like that part. So those are the two positives of which I like.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I wasn't in love with it. If I could have it my way, shocker, I would want them in LA. But
I'm gonna say something unpopular with the Butterfly Crew. I'm not a big Raider fan. I'm
it's
not.
okay. We're okay with
I'm a
that.
Rams fan. You know,
Ooh.
I, I'm a Rams fan. I grew up with the Rams though. Even as a kid, I was a Rams fan.
You know what, all my
Uh,
cousins, it was you were a Raider fan or you were a Ram fan. Like it was one of the
yeah.
two. We would fight all the time. Um, it's okay. We you know what, we just love football on Sundays.
Hmm.
I let everyone, I always say this is a Raider house, so respect the home that you're in. But shout your team out. I'll shout your team out. It's all
Hmm.
love. It's all love. I'm just a football girl. I love football. It's my number
Uh,
one sport.
right, right.
I think I'm on
Speaking
the
of, I
field.
just I've seen, and
Yeah.
that's a good idea. Showing the stream, even though it's probably not legal, but
I,
it's still a great idea.
yeah, I thought that. I was like, you know what? I'm not saving my streams anymore, so whatever.
Right,
And I want to watch the game, and I see that Twitch now runs the games.
right, because like, through Amazon, exactly.
Yeah, Twitch is
Yeah.
running some of the games. So once I saw Twitch running the games, I was like, you know what? Let's load it. If they yell at me, we'll take it down. But we're gonna try as long as we can.
Um, I got an email from
Okay.
this little company. You may know them, called Scam Artist. We're
Aha,
trying to
yeah.
get on some guests. So I do want to actually throw out there congratulations for getting
Thanks.
signed to Scam.
Thanks.
Now, I am curious. How
Okay.
does one get signed to Scam in the
During a pandemic.
middle? Correct.
Um, that's a great question. Back in the day, obviously, like I think everyone like Scam represented just this great
Yes.
cultural DJ type thing, and it was very much a really cool kids club. Um, and then I don't know. I've known the boys. I've spent so much time with like Five and Deluxe and all the boys
Hmm.
before quarantine because we all DJed at Tao together. So it's like I always kind of knew the boys, and Suju and I've known each other, but we really never had like really, really crossed that path.
Sure.
And then I think he's a businessman and he's smart, and the world is not in clubs right now, but in digital. And so why not go after the people that are making waves digitally? So um, the way I see it personally is I will 100% do what I need to do, keep doing. And if my new booking agency, Scam Artist, can bring me in brand partnerships in my stream, and we can figure that out, that'll be great, you know. And Sujit still, not only does he work at Scam, you know, he's connected in the music industry as well. So um, it's again, full transparency. We don't know what the fuck we're doing,
Right.
him included. It's like, hey, let's figure it out. But yeah, you know, we're not going to be in this quarantine forever.
Hmm.
We're not going to be here in the long run. And the truth of the matter is, for me to get to the next step, club wise, um, I would love to have those relationships that he has, and that type of um, thing backing me, combined with what I have. I don't know. It's all going to be new to me when we come
Yeah.
out of quarantine. Everything is going to be new to me, and um, if I'm a part of it, I'm going to ride for it, and it's going to be dope. And so
Yeah.
that's how I see my relationship with Scam. If I'm you know, I'm Scam now, so I'm going to do everything that I can, because I'm associated with it, to make that
Hmm.
shit pop and be amazing, whether that's in quarantine or outside of it.
I think Suja just wanted his scam channel numbers to go up.
I mean, he was getting that without me, because there
Yeah.
were, you know, I didn't jump on the Scam train. It took a
Yeah.
while. You know,
Hmm.
I definitely held back and kept my I didn't know where I was going, and was like, we'll
Hmm.
see. You know, I had
Yeah.
got the offer a few times during quarantine, a few times. It wasn't recent. Uh, and I just kind of still had felt, I don't know. I don't know if this is where I want to go. I don't know where this want to go. Sujit, being the smart businessman that he
Yes.
was
Yes.
persistent,
Hmm.
and
Well,
was
that's
like,
good.
okay, cool. Yeah. Cool. Go ahead. But I'm going to work on some stuff on the side. And if you like what I'm working with, and you know, maybe, you know, he did his part as well. And then after a while, I thought, okay, I can see this person, and I can see our ideas, and we're already working together quite well without me even
Hmm.
being Scam. um okay, let's do it.
And
So
I think
it
that's
wasn't an overnight jump in kind of thing. It definitely took time.
gotcha.
Yeah,
I think that it
for
was
me.
yeah. Well, and I've known some people that have worked with scam before, and I think one of the good things about them is they seem to be flexible. Like if
Yeah,
there's something that you want to do and you pick something up, it's like, hey, I'm doing this, and it's not like, you know, you always hear about those horror stories of managers like, no, you can't do this, and only do the things that I give you. There's a lot more flexibility to them, and I
yeah,
think that's
absolutely.
probably why people like them so much.
Absolutely. Ultimately, Scam is a booking agency. So
Hmm.
I still have a manager separate
Right.
from, you know, Sujit is my booking agent. But we all work really, really well hand in hand. And
Hmm.
you know, also it's a new day. What was
Yeah.
before is not there. And again, what we talked about in the beginning, you got to evolve, and you got to move forward, and you got to change shit up. And what Scam was, and what I was, and what any of us were,
Not
we
the
don't know
same.
what that's going to look like coming out. So we really are in a place where we're creating our own brand, our own everything. And I think that goes for everything, even in music industry. There's no artist development anymore. There's not now. You have to have that brand. You have to have created, because you have the tools to do so. You have to
Hmm.
create that movement, that brand, and then bring
Yeah.
something to the table.
Well,
So
I mean, if you
luckily,
look
I
at
think
any,
I do have.
you
Yeah,
do bring a lot to the table, and I think if you just look at the hip hop industry and how many people have blown up outside of the industry,
hands
and
down.
they don't even need them. So it's
Nope.
like there's tons of opportunities out there if you just go out and grab them. You know, you can make
Absolutely.
your own thing. Um,
And you can't, that I think one of the most important things to tell people is that you can't be afraid of haters, or people not seeing your vision, or not thinking what you're doing is cool, or disagreeing with you, or, you know,
mhm.
you're going to get people that love the shit out of you and think you are the
Yeah.
greatest thing in the whole world, and then you're going to get people that just think you're trash. And
Right.
if if you can be okay with that.
You just see the ratios to be on the positive side and not on the negative side, and you'll be okay.
Yeah. If you can get okay with that lifestyle and putting yourself out there too, you'll be fine. Just do it.
Because I think it's funny because I think one of the reasons why people enjoy Twitch so much is because
Mhm.
there really isn't a negative aspect to it. There's no thumbs downs.
Right.
You know what? Everything out there, once you're done with your stream, you just turn it off and that's it. You know, I go on YouTube, I post something, and it could be like 10 minutes from when I posted it, and the video might be 18 minutes long. I have like 2 dislikes. I'm like, you didn't even see the video yet. Like, how are you
True.
just? And then I realized it's like, okay, there are just people that just don't like me, and I have to
No,
be okay with
but
that.
see, I'm even gonna go past that. I disagree with you. I don't think it's the people that she does, or it's people that don't like you. It's people that don't like themselves because it takes a certain type of person to wake up and have to feel the need to tell someone or to just let someone know. It's so important for me to let you know how trash you are. You know what I mean? Like that's just
Yeah.
an undying unlove for someone's self that they don't
Hmm.
understand that dynamic. So they probably didn't even watch the video.
Oh, of course they did.
I'm just gonna wake up and be like, nope, thumbs down. I like that hat. Nope, thumbs down.
You don't like my hat? Damn.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So trust me, it's crazy what people think is okay human behavior. It's especially when their trigger fingers are behind a keyboard.
Right. Oh God, anonymous people are
Oh
the
my
worst.
god. Oh my
Um,
god.
by the way, shout out to Audio One. Shout out to DJ Homicide. I saw him in the chat. What's going on, fam? Good to see you guys. Um, the Elo show. She's rocking the SZ2.
Yep.
But what is your gear of choice? I mean, I actually saw your writer, but let people know what you're using.
Here
Or
at home,
yeah.
the Pioneer DJ SC for sure. It's
Hmm.
my stationary unit. Love it. If I'm at a club, I'm gonna always want to be on CDJs. Um, you know, the last 2 to 3 models, preferably. Um, I'm hyper. I gotta have that movement, and I need my equipment to be able to handle the music and me
Hmm.
jumping up and down, and my friends in my DJ booth hitting me. It's a wild time in the booth when I'm in a club. So hands down, CDJs.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Um, have you tried the phases at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's not true.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yes, I'm tripping. Von Kiss had them about a week ago. Those
Hmm.
were dope. I did like those. John B had been using them when we were at You're Not Down Before Quarantine. So yes, I have
Yeah.
actually tried them. They're cool. They're cool. They're cool.
Yeah.
But now I think I've trained my hands to a smaller platter and the faster.
Gotcha. Hmm.
Um, so I would 100%. I'd be fine if I showed up and a club had a DJ. I'm not like take my stuff. I'm not performing. That would never happen. I would perform on anything if I can make it happen, I'll do it. But my ideal choice is CDJs.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. John B is my man.
Oh,
I'm still when he gets back to doing that show, I give him a hard time because I'm like, how come you never asked me to do the show? I've been wanting to do that show. That show just seems dope as fuck.
which
and I
one
need
is
to
it?
be on there.
Snapback or You're Not Down?
Not Snapback. You're not down.
Oh, okay.
That's the one at Disney, right? At Anaheim.
That
House of
one's
Blues.
Snapback.
Oh, he does Snapback at House of Blues.
I'm sorry. Oh, snap. Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. Yes.
See, I'm over
Thank
here
you. That's
messing
what
my
it
French
was.
shit up. Oh, snap. It's called Oh, snap. Yeah, that
Yeah.
party is so fun. He had me on for the DJ Quick one. We're actually probably going to partner up for that moving forward outside of quarantine as well. Me and
Gotcha.
John go way
Gotcha.
back, man. He was definitely one of my first DJ besties. So that's like my brother. He'll always be my right hand man.
He was
No doubt.
another one late to the Twitch party.
Say that again.
But now look at him. He was another one late to the Twitch party.
You know what?
Uh,
He was there before me, so I can't say.
Okay, gotcha. It's funny to me, like even I'm a shout out Chris Villa. Like he was so late to the party. He just speaking of Stockholm syndrome. I mean, IG was knocking him off every 20 minutes, and he just get back on.
Same.
Then he got banned. He's back on. Go to my
That's
fake.
right.
Yeah, and then I'm like, yo, man, just go to Twitch. And then he got on. I remember the first day he was on, And then like, I think like he was on for a couple hours, and then the next day, I think he might have been on for 23 out of the 24 hours. I don't think he got off. He was just
Oh,
DJing so happy. So now
that he
he's on
got didn't get
all the
kicked off.
time, you
Yeah, I
know?
remember.
Yeah,
Chris is actually definitely one of the reasons why I started getting freaked out, because when they cut off his account, because they did that to me one time. They told me I couldn't go on live. They didn't delete my account, but they cut off my
mhm,
live restriction. And I
yeah.
freaked out, and I was like, shit, like, what am I gonna do? Full on meltdown. But they only did it for 4 hours. So um but yeah, I do remember watching that with Chris and was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to make that switch too. Yeah.
Now let's talk a little bit about club life,
Okay.
because obviously, as a woman,
Hmm.
you deal with things differently than men deal with, as far as bookings, as far as just being safe at the shows,
Yeah.
leaving. I mean, did how do you? Because I know there are DJs that are female in here. Are there any tips, tricks, things that you can tell them to kind of ease their transition when we get
Um,
back to life?
no, I wouldn't say trips are it's hard. No, I never really saw myself as a female DJ. Like I
Mhm.
just see myself as a DJ, but I do understand that I have things to worry about that maybe the men DJs don't. The only thing that bothers me about being a female DJ is hearing like hun and sweetie and oh, or when the sound guy wants to fucking just be a douchebag and like I don't like, oh
Like they
man.
don't trust what you're saying. They don't.
Yeah, or like I got
Mhm.
it, and I'm like, nope, you don't got it. Hold on, 1 and 3, dude. You can't. It's not 1 and 2 on this mixer. It's 1 and 3, bro. But here you go. It's cool. It's all yours. Um, but I'm lucky that I have a very large group of supportive friends, and so
Mhm.
the odds of me ever going to a gig alone are,
Oh,
I
right.
mean, rare. I mean, I don't think I've gone to a gig solo in many years, and I'm talking like a crew. We roll in pretty deep. Um, so I would say, yeah, have a crew. If you're a lady and you want to start DJing, have a crew, have a squad. Definitely don't go anywhere by yourself. There's not a level of, oh, this person has so many followers, so she can get a psycho. Because I've had some crazy people when I had no following. I wasn't even on Instagram. Um,
Mhm.
People just there's some weird people out there. So definitely don't be alone. Um, don't be alone. Keep your crew with you. Be mindful of taking drinks from people and stuff like that. Just the basic shit that you would have to think of. That's pretty much it. And don't let any boss or manager or club manager make you feel any type of different way because you're a woman.
Mhm. Right.
Fuck off sounds the same in a female voice as it does in a male's voice. So use the words and keep it moving.
And have you felt that at any point um that people would question your ability to DJ because you
Oh,
were a woman?
yeah, I still feel that way.
Hmm.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, for sure. But here's the other, I hear a lot of DJs kind of like, well, girls are running Twitch, ugh, the girls get all the followers because they're girls, and ugh, the girls do this. And great, fine, that's fine. I don't mind that. You all have been boy club in the clubs. It's always been a boys club, and us girls have been, kind of right there. I don't give 2, 3, 4, 7, 15 fucks. We
Hmm.
are, the women are. Girls have their aesthetic that is a little different. If you could see a woman doing the same job as a man who can also do it as well as a man, and you're going to put her on a screen by the standards that you like to see visually something like
Hmm.
that, and still get what you get. So understand, I get why maybe women are kind of doing a little better in tits.
Hey, there you go. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong
No,
with that.
there's really not, it's just facts.
I
um but it's
Chris.
it's it's awesome when we can deliver our talent as well. If that's what's going to bring you to the page, great. But if we have talent to back it up and that's what keeps you there, I'm all for that.
I think Chris Rock said it best when he was talking about just like the race divide. And he said, you know, I don't want to get a job because I'm black. I don't want to get a job if my scores are poor or if I can't do the job as well. But if it's a tie, fuck them.
For sure. Hands down. If that's what's going to bring me to the table, crop top all day. You know what I mean? Bikini tops all day. But I'm well aware that that's not what's going to keep me there. You know what I mean? That's not what's going to keep me at the level of where I choose to be. So that's a great aspect of being a woman. I'll take it. It's not all poor us. The men get treated better in the DJ world. We both have our, we both have our strengths in different areas that we don't have. The other doesn't have. But yeah, it's not going to keep me there, but it'll get me there in my talent, hopefully, and any other woman's talent. Get it done. Yeah. Get that shit done. I love making people be like, oh, fuck, she's actually a really good DJ.
Oh, you DJ.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually what I got after quarantine, because I spent so much time just chronicling me and my friends being wild and partying. Like they knew I DJ'd because I would only post whoever would catch me in the club reposting. And then after quarantine, I got so many DMs like, oh, you're like a real DJ. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, I actually do it.
I had to do live streaming because I started getting not hate, but criticism from a lot of DJs on YouTube. Like, well, I don't know if I can really trust what you're saying because, you know, I don't really know that you can DJ. So why should I, which is bizarre because I can still have technical knowledge and not be a good DJ.
Yeah.
But that was the thing, you know, this guy does it. He always DJs. I'm like, fine. So then I started DJing and it was nothing more than like a validation. Because I'm like, I know I DJ. I don't need to explain to you that I DJ because this is what I do for a living. But if you need to see it, here you go. You know, so it's always funny to me that you have to deal with that kind of stuff. Like people just can't seem to just
I don't mind it. Everyone has their own thing. I personally don't mind it. I kind of love it. It's like that, what I said, like that. I almost like when someone doubts. It's my favorite when someone doesn't get it or doesn't see it. And then it's like, boom, boom, boom. I love what I do. And I think when you love what you do, whether you're that great, I'm not the most technical DJ by any means. I'm not scratching and boom, boom, boom. You know, I know how to beat match. I know how to rock a room. But I love what I do. And I think especially now being on a platform where there's a camera in our face and it captures our spirit of what we're doing, it helps. And it makes it sound that much better. Watching someone enjoy something, you're not watching a channel of like, let's put a show of just people miserable. Like no one wants to see that. So it helps.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I spend a lot of time on Twitch. I'm sure you do too. And I look at a lot of different DJs and at this point in the game, there's the worst thing that I can see is somebody that's literally just like, I'm into just my DJing. I don't even recognize that there's anybody in the chat or there's anybody watching me. I'm just doing my thing. Like I have no interest in watching you. I want to be a part of your whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like anytime I see that, it just drives me nuts. You can't be that DJ on here.
No,
and that's not what this is.
That's another thing that I tell people. People would always say, well, what do you have? What tips do you have to give DJs? Streaming's not for all of us. It's not for every DJ. And that doesn't make you a bad DJ. You could be one of the most amazing DJs in the whole talented, crafted world, but a shitty streamer. It's the marriage of the two. You have to now be able to fulfill a visual platform as well as a visual space as well as the sound of the space. So it's not for everybody.
Yeah, I've learned some of my best shows were the ones where I spent the most time messing up. But same. I'm on the chat, we're laughing it up, everything's just kind of a thing. And that's when you realize you're like it's not about being an amazing DJ.
No.
Like, that's not what this is about.
No.
So people need to get that. And that's why people were like, I don't really want to go on Twitch yet. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if I had the skill sets. And it's like, it's not about that. It's about developing a community
For
that
sure.
bonds and connects with you.
Because there's DJs that are emo as hell. Like
Yeah.
I cannot be in that slip my wrists around it like environment all the time. It's not my personal cup of tea, but I'm a very small cup of tea in the world of humanity. So I watch and I'm in their chat, and there's other people that are like, cut me so good, it feels great, I love this, this is pain, this feels amazing. There's a freak show for everybody. So
Yes.
be true to yourself and what feels right and good for you and what's authentically, you know, your tribe will come. What is for you
Yes.
will come. Don't try to be mean.
Paris Paul, throw in the tribe emote. I know you want to.
Like, what is he saying?
No, you just said your tribe will come. That's his thing. You know.
Is that get it? But yeah, it's true. It's true. Don't try to be anybody. Don't watch my story or watch and be like, I have to be like that. Or watch Paris Paul's and I have to be like that, or watch yours. You have to be like you. And that's the only way you're going to make it in this world, because people will call you out real quick.
Right. And you spend a lot of time, especially in the beginning, you know, a lot of the newer people have, I think, better references than they did in the beginning of quarantine. Because when we first got on, we were like, okay, well, that guy's doing that, so I guess I better do that. And then you start to do your thing. You're like, that doesn't really work for me. I got to find out what's me. And you spend a lot of time. I spent a lot of time being critical of like, where am I most comfortable as far as what I'm doing?
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where you're like, okay, this is me. This is my show. Obviously, the Wake Up in Cleveland, you know, I'm like, what do I, because I could DJ every day. And I'm just like, because of all the stuff that I'm doing, I needed something to kind of spark my brain. I needed something to get up in the morning for. I was never getting up in the morning. That was my biggest thing.
Same.
So this show helped me get up in the morning, and talking is kind of my thing. So it made sense to do it. Now when I do my pop-ups, it's because I want to, and I enjoy them more. For me, when I was DJing all the time, it wasn't working for me. I felt like I was burning out faster.
Okay.
And it could have been just a timing thing, literally, because sometimes you get into those ruts where you're just like, I need to do something different. Miss the mixes. So maybe I'll do them more. And then I got caught in the whole partnership thing.
Okay.
And I knew that my numbers on my partnership and on my DJing were lower than on my live interviews. So then my numbers started getting higher, and I was like, well, if I just keep doing these, I'll get to my partnership faster. But if I DJ, then it's going to screw up everything. And then God,
it's
Kid
such
Cutup was on last week.
Planned thing. It's crazy. Like, it's such a mathematical accomplishment.
It really is. Yeah. But then Kid Cutup was on, and he was like, you know, what do you get from being partner? I'm like, you get more emotes. And he's like, well, if that's all, you're still helping people. People are still coming to you. It doesn't matter that you have the little checkbox on your name, you know? And I'm like, I know, but I'm a goals oriented person.
Yeah.
And that checkbox is what I need for me to go, okay, like everything I've ever done, I've always had goals. So if I don't have a goal, it feels weird to me.
Or you just feel like kind of like floating in space. Like,
yes.
Where am I going next? Yeah.
Right.
I think it could still be your goal. It is still your goal, very much so. But I think a goal and like a folk, you know, maybe my goal is to achieve partnership, but my focus is just to put out a good show constantly.
Yes.
You know, so goal and focus can sometimes be confused as the same exact thing. But sometimes, you know, you could use each to bounce off each other. And you
have to do both, because
you do. You could have a goal and focus on many things leading up to that goal. It helped. Talking to different people, I'm sure, gives you a breath of fresh air. It makes it feel new each time. And that's why for me, doing themes for the first 3 months really helped. Like, it felt great. I felt young again when you're researching music and you're downloading. I hadn't downloaded like that in years. You know, you download what you need to, you go to a club, you knock it out. Music really, as much as people think it changes very fast, it really doesn't.
It doesn't. Especially not at the club.
No, the club, it does not. You have one freaking job: sell the bottles, create the vibe, what works, works. It ain't broken, don't fix it. Keep it going. So there's ways to maneuver around that stale part. And I think
Mhm.
the whole themes thing helps, and you having different guests, I'm sure helps. There's a different energy
Yeah.
each time.
Yeah. And it really is. For the person that I miss your mixes, I can guarantee you now I'm now doing a Friday at 1. I think it's 1. 1 o'clock every Friday because I'm on the Ray train. You said I can do more.
Okay. Well, it's supposed to be
No.
noon, but I'm Mexican and I never start at noon. But I'm gonna get better, you guys. I'm
Oh,
working on
gotcha.
it
Yeah.
weekly.
Yeah. I always say 9 a.m. on the show, and then the show doesn't technically start to around 9:15, 9:20, because I just can't get that 9 o'clock to like click on for me, But hey,
Same. I did for
yeah.
and that was the thing. That was one thing I loved about the beginning of quarantine was having the show every day at noon put me on a
Mhm.
schedule. I woke up by 9. I had my coffee. I was prepping. Like it was like locked. Then I went to every other day, and just that shift, everything bounced out of order. And I still to this day have a hard time getting on unless I'm like on someone else's
Yeah,
time because I respect that.
I agree. Yeah, no, you're right, because the reason why I started this show doing Monday through Friday was because of that reason. I wanted to make sure that I stayed on point.
Yeah,
And then
understand.
I
Yeah,
went to
it helps.
yeah, then I went to Tuesday to Thursday, and I was like, until now, yeah, Monday and Friday, I feel like I kind of should be still doing it. So those are going to be my pop-up days. I'll
Okay.
DJ what I want. But I guess my thing was,
Should I get try?
yeah, I DJ'd on last Friday,
Okay.
and I was so busy doing all of these videos I had a Serato video deadline that I needed to get out. So I was doing all these things, and then I went to do my stream,
Mhm.
and I mean I typically freestyle, it is what it is.
Okay.
But I felt completely disconnected to the stream,
Okay.
and it was like it actually bothered me, because it's like I can DJ, so
Yeah.
it's not an issue, but like I didn't feel like I was giving anybody more than they needed. It was like, here's just enough. There you go. Here's some music, but I didn't feel connected. I didn't feel like there was an actual flow or a story being told.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
I like
it
that
bothered
too.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So it bothered me, and so I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I got to at least make sure that on a pop up, whatever, all bets are off. If I want to DJ 80s music for an hour and a half, I'll do that.
Hands
But
down.
if I have a time that is set, to me that feels like you got to make sure you got to give 100, on that one. You can't half-ass it. For me. And it's maybe because I also don't do as many, that a lot of people. So for me it's
Yeah.
like a special occasion. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I can
I'm
see-
different that way.
I don't think so. I Carrie, I
Thanks,
drive.
thanks, Paris Paul, for saying I remember that. Thank you for keeping it real.
Hey, Paris Paul's always keeping them real. Yeah, I get that. I get that for sure. It's hard. Like we're just all so different. I know DJ Leslie and myself do a show Saturday night called Neon Jungle.
Mhm.
And I did that Saturday night show because I wanted to, she was just about to jump on Twitch. And I'm like, let's do it. Well, let's build this like fun Saturday night party and let's take
Mhm.
it to the club because we're not really doing club shit during the week. We're doing nostalgic shit. So let's do a Saturday
Yeah.
night party. We're not doing anything. But our differences in how we work is just so like Carrie and Leslie would ideally be a great combination
Mhm.
because they plan. Leslie's in there on her computer, like, oh, I need to play this version and I need to play that version. And I'm just like, whatever, I'm showing up. Let's go. Let's get this shit done. Like, I put all my energy into it 115%, but I would be lying if
Mhm.
I didn't say I put, unless it's something I know, like obviously the Beatport thing, I put a lot of energy. Even the
Sure.
my boom bap set, my
Mhm.
boom bap, I was like, I woke up super hella early and was like on it. And what do I really want to play? And what version of this and what version of that? So there are times that I do go above and beyond. But for the norm, your girl just be popping in like, what up? Let's go.
Yeah, yeah, and I understand that, and I agree with you. You're 100% right. But for me, I don't know. Maybe it's a timing issue when you're doing too
Because I
much
feel like
stuff.
we're similar. From hearing our
Yeah.
conversations, I feel like we are very,
Yeah.
very, very similar.
I agree. I agree. It was a timing issue because I was still editing the videos and doing all this stuff, and then literally like 3 minutes before the show, I was like, okay, let me get on. And then that was the problem. If I know
Okay.
that if I just had a little more time to kind of get my mind right, okay, I'm
Yeah.
DJing now, it would have been fine. But like, I just felt like my brain, sometimes when you're DJing, your brain just doesn't want to work properly.
Yeah,
Like
that happens
songs
to
don't
me.
pop in your head.
No, it happens to me now. Or even just tech shit. Like all of a sudden, for some reason today, while I'm one song in, I realized my Serato didn't load my iTunes connect to my iTunes library, and I have
Oh,
stuff organized in both because I'm lazy and I haven't gone back and fixed it all. Um, so yeah, for sure, hands down, I know exactly. And even just there's just some days that I don't feel it. I just don't. I'm not here. I'm going through something out at home,
right.
or I'm going through something, emotionally that I can't figure out, or family or whatever, and I don't feel like being jazz
Yes,
hands on the camera. Uh,
exactly.
but I think the fact that I have a great support system, it keeps me engaged, and I don't want to let them down and pull up and pull through.
Gotcha. Audio
Yeah.
one in the chat. What's going on, fam? Boom Bap Kids in the chat. What's going on?
Hey, that shit was
Hey,
popping.
so I'm gonna keep saying this, Boom Bap. I'm gonna keep saying this until you were actually on the show. We keep setting it up, but hey, man, I'm here. Let's set it up. Let's set it
Do
up.
it.
I'm counting
Do
on
it.
you.
Definitely.
Uh, okay. So I've kept you on for a long time. Anybody in the chat, if you have any questions that doesn't involve her DJ hardware, but real questions, drop those in the chat. Because I don't want to keep you on forever. I know you got stuff to do. This isn't your streaming day though. You stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, noonish.
Sunday.
Saturday
Gotcha.
nights.
Okay.
I'm gonna start going on at 8 because Leslie's like, I want to go on before you. And then I was like, girl, we're wasting a raid. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this business now. Come on, let's get it together. Let's switch it, And she's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
fine. So now I'll go on 8 p.m. on Saturdays moving forward. And then every other Thursday night. And then on occasion, sometimes I do. Oh shit, these questions are coming in.
Yeah.
How do you guys
and
feel
that's
about
actually,
song requests, Terry?
I typically speaking, I already have a set list in my brain, even though it's not, in a playlist. But if it's a song request, it works with what I'm doing, especially when I'm freestyling, like say I'm playing that, like, oh, play this one too. I'm like, if it works, I don't care. But I don't like a whole bunch of song requests because then it kind of messes with my internals. But on occasion, I play them. Not a problem.
I
about you?
personally don't mind them especially because sometimes that's like, oh shit, I forgot about that song.
Yeah, exactly.
So I like that. But if I
Mhm.
don't play it, the one thing I hate is like play my song over. And it's like the person in the
Yes.
club that's like, are you gonna play my song right now? Are you gonna play it next? Are you gonna play it next? Like, odds are I've seen it. If I can make it happen, I'll make it happen. If I can't, I can't. I don't want, it's not working. So yeah, that part, I don't mind them, but if you don't hear it, like, I'll even give you 2 times because maybe you didn't see it. Maybe you're
Right.
taking maybe I didn't see it.
Mhm.
But after that,
Yeah.
like, oh, I just want to be like, ban them, ban them. Not playing your song.
What I started to do, I put those in my channel points now, song requests, because
Yeah.
that
Oh,
way
okay.
it'll flag it in the thing so I can see it and I know what they wanted.
That's smart.
'Cause it's, yeah, because you'll miss them.
Yeah.
I do want to mention you are really really good about like hooking up a lot of people with your raids, and for somebody that has so much, like, I mean, in all honesty, a raid is power, and you can decide to put that raid on anybody, and for you to put it on, like, Paris is like, oh yeah, Angie just raided me with like 900 people. That's not very common. What is your thoughts on raids?
I love that. I don't see it as power. I see it as a way to help. So I love that I am in the position to help out, fellow DJs that I respect or love or just care about and want to see grow. So yeah, there's times where I will hit someone up and say, hey, like, I saw that you're going to be on Twitch. Why don't you jump on? This day works really well. I'm very strategic about, I try to be, it doesn't always work that way, but I try to be strategic about how the raids go in. So if I know Friday's quarantine gardens, And I know the vibe that I bring on Friday is it's its own whole entire show. I try to look for DJs in the chat that some I don't know, but if I see their title frame goes well with, and they can keep them. I'm not all about throwing. I don't like wasting them. I don't like let's just throw this for shits and gigs. Like I want it to be effective for my friends that are watching and effective for my friends that are playing. So I love that. I love being able to be in the position to put my friends on and show people. I always tell people in my chat all the time, follow. If you see a DJ, come and say hi, shoot them a follow. You never know when you're going to find the best, your next favorite DJ. That's
Agreed. Yeah. And I think it's real easy to not see all the DJs. I mean, I have the DJs that I follow, but there are, if you actually click on the music category, there are so many DJs.
Hands down. And I've met new ones in Twitch that I'd never heard about.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So for instance, I know Metaspin was in the house. She's actually one of my favorites. Her vibe is just so real, and the music selection is always on point. So I love Meta. Stuff like that. Yeah.
I adore Meta. Her voice is so soothing.
Isn't it?
And she's got this great, like, I'm a spaz, but she's just such a nice vibe. I enjoy checking in Meta streams all the time.
Yeah.
I just adore her. I can't wait to get her on a raid. And that's the other thing. I love doing raid kind of parties in a sense for special reasons. Not because it really does anything other than I get to showcase friends that I like, that's the fun. I think that's a fun part of this.
I think you are doing it the right way. There's a lot of people out there that it does become a power trip. And I think that's one of the biggest fears for a lot of the DJs that got on to Twitch early. Is one of the biggest complaints I'm seeing is that a lot of the DJs that held out, and I'm not talking about the Chris Villas or any of those people, but a lot of the DJs that held out are coming in here kind of expecting it to be like it was in the club. And it's not, not. And it's like we want to make sure that the vibe, the kind of camaraderie doesn't change because these new people come on. It's like, no, that's not what we're about here. We want to keep it the way we like it. It's not the club, So, what are your thoughts?
I think when you're in a club, someone like a Z Trip and not to say that these DJs this has been an issue with them. I'm just using an example.
Sure.
An A-Track, a Z Trip, they can get lost in this and do the most amazing things. And you as a personal experience are carried by the energy surrounding you, right? Like, I don't need him to look at me. I don't need him to shout me out. I don't need anything from him except for just because all of our surrounding energy of witnessing this is just so hyped.
Right.
That's not streaming. It's me and you and your kids and or your work or by alone. So that type of focus is no longer in what the current times that we're at now is not it's not going to fly. It's just not. You need that connection. You need to be able to break away from your amazing crafted stuff. So I think a lot of the DJs that are very famous DJs coming into streaming think it's going to be the same, but it's not. It's definitely not. So that's one thing I think that they have to understand is like we talked about, I think numerous times in this, just adjusting and adapting. It's the new normal. It may not be like forever, but this is now. And if you can't, because I know a lot of DJs that do decent in numbers on streaming, and I enjoy them, but maybe are a little more sober in streaming. But when they're at the club, they're drinking more, and their energy is a vibe, and they shine better in that environment. It doesn't make them any less. It just makes them, this is not their arena to shine, and that's okay because there's room for all of us to shine, and what goes up comes down. And right now I'm doing very well, and it's my time to be showcased and be great. And in could be a day, a month, a year, it'll be somebody else. And I think as long as we accept that, and it doesn't take away from what I can do, I can still do it. It's just
Yeah.
It's all timing and all everyone getting their shine on their time.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And a lot of the DJs, I'm not naming names, but a lot of them are boring as hell. And I'm just not having that.
And I'm gonna keep it
Um,
real. They were even boring in the club, but again, you were
see,
able to have
you can
drinks
mask it.
and be with your friends
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
and you know the truth of the matter is a lot of DJs have been put on from just cosigns.
Right. True.
People don't want to say it, but it's true. A lot of people have been put on and have been, they're a dope DJ because their friends told you they were a dope DJ, or a label told you they were a dope DJ, or an agency told you they were a dope DJ. And now that's not it. We're
Yeah.
not listening to those things. We're really listening to ourselves and what
So,
we enjoy.
so what do you think, and where do you think we're going after we get out of quarantine musically?
I really wish that I could tell you,
Yeah.
but I can't. I can't tell you. I think TikTok has been a way to like all the like mumble rap stuff, right? Like all the young kids have thrived
Yeah.
in TikTok. But clubs really weren't, to me, you couldn't really do a full night of all brand new music and have it
Yeah.
thriving. So I think personally, and I thought this even before quarantine, I think clubs are going back to open format, like for real open format of all over what it was in like the early 2000s kind of thing, like 2010-ish, the DJ AM era, which
Right.
I love because that's my jam. We could play all of it. I would hope and I would think that that's musically where the clubs are going to go after this.
Yeah. We can hope anyway. And I think,
if I can.
yeah, I think, well, there's a couple things. One, will the clubs even exist in their current form?
I don't know.
Two, will the same promoters be even out there? You know what I mean? Or is the club just going to look on Twitch and be like, that person's got followers, that person, and just start bringing people in, And three, are the DJs even going to want to do what they did on Twitch? Are they going to branch off? Are they going to stay safe and play, the same old Too Short song every day, and just do the thing, or are they actually going to DJ?
I think that I don't. It's so hard to say. It really, 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 really is. It's hard to say, but I think that I will say this is one thing that I think might happen. You remember the old 70s disco era DJ booths where you were like literally away, like you had an actual DJ booth.
Right.
I think that might come back. I think
so it's not even about the DJ. You're just coming in for the vibe, and
I think
you
that
barely
might
you
come
have
back.
no.
Yeah. I think that's a possibility of like that type of energy coming back. Screens, I think everything's definitely going to be, I think streaming will move into clubs. I think I'm just going to use Calvin Harris as an example because he was such a big part of Vegas. Catch Calvin Harris live here and streaming on Twitch. You know what I mean? Like it's
right.
I think DJs have been able to break open the small, like it's bigger. We really have opened
Pandora's
this platform.
box.
I have DJ, is it Craig Gordon in there from over, I would never, we would never know about each other.
Right.
Yes, like the old Tris booth. Yeah.
I wonder if the clubs will get more into tech. I mean, we all know that the clubs, as far as technology, the light shows and the video shows, like they've always been amazing. But I'm curious to know if they're going to start setting up streaming situations when a Calvin Harris can't do a show or somebody big and they're just not available. Are they going to say, get on your green screen and DJ and we'll handle the rest?
To be perfectly 100% honest, I think they should have already been on that on that tip. I think partnerships with when I think of things, I always think of things in business aspects. Twitch should have been doing partnerships with The Win, with Marquee, with so and so. Granted, it's not going to look the same, but they are able to. If they were able to provide these types of places, people would watch. People would be about it. People are down. They're watching Angie in Pomona, California, freaking in her third bedroom play music. So yeah, I think it could go there.
Yeah.
I just think everyone's really optimistic about we're going to be done. We're going to be done. And no one really wants to put that effort into, they kind of just want to write it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think
Which
we
I
need
get.
to be, yeah, but we need to be realistic about
Right.
everything, about getting out of COVID, about even when we get out of COVID, our industry is still going to be struggling.
Yeah. Oh, for
Because,
sure.
you know what I mean? Because, okay, we're out of COVID. Now let's just jam 150 to 200 people into a little box. Like, it's not going to happen. People aren't going to
No,
want to
it's
do
definitely
that.
not. And even people are hesitant.
Yes.
Like there's
Exactly.
two sets of people. I think in the beginning it's going to be the younger crowd of kids that just don't
I don't give a
care.
fuck crowd. Yep.
But also that crowd is really not the crowd that generates bottle service, that generates
Yes.
the income of which these clubs need these kids to push the look of it, but these clubs need these older
The older with the money.
older crowd to push those bottles. And I think that's going to be an interesting thing when we get back out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Agreed. Come on, closer behind DJs now.
What did you? I saw something about. Oh, clubs should be hiring DJs now when they open. Yeah. I don't know what your thoughts are, but my thoughts are I feel like we've created this really great energy in quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to waste it going to a venue where I get 10 tables. Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? I'd rather just stay home.
Right.
And if the time passes me and I don't ride that out and I don't get what I want from it, that's okay. I don't want to sell myself or any energy short. I'm an energy person. So if that vibe's not there, like, I'm not there.
So then, based upon what you're saying here, are you saying that will you consistently stream even after we get out of this and you're working again?
Yeah, I would think I will, definitely. I cannot, given the space that I don't know what that's going to look like for me.
Yes.
I don't. But ideally, I know that my intention is to do that. Yeah, of course. I've created this really awesome group of people that are here, and I couldn't imagine just being like, okay, thanks, bye.
Right.
Y'all save my life, bye-bye. Okay, I'm out. So
you're like, but we still live at home. We're still, adults with children. We're not going to the club to see you.
That's 100% what I said. I said the thing about that makes quarantine awesome for DJs is we are now reaching a crowd of people that aren't ever going to see us in the club. They're never going to see us. They're never going out. So now, or if they are, they're going out once a month.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'll take that. I appreciate those people just as much as I appreciate the kids that are going out every week that I see at every club, sometimes multiple days a week. I'm not going anywhere. I might not be as easily accessible, but I will always have a heart in streaming as long as the platform's available for me.
Hold on. Metaspin says, I might not go back to the club. Can't be DJing barefoot. Yeah.
You guys, I'm going to show you something embarrassing right now. Because my dog, one of them, is what we're working with. Every day, my shoes for work.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to even wear shoes anymore.
Is it a puppy or is it
He's a puppy. He's about a year.
Yeah, that's still chewing time. Yeah, they really are. Yeah.
How long until it stops?
Well, I've always had Boston Terriers. I had a boxer for a few years, but we've always been a Boston Terrier family. We just got a new one after my boxer died. So he's about a year old. Thank you. He's about a year old and he's now chewing again. And one of my biggest things about getting the dog was like, we just, we bought a house and we got in furniture. Like, I don't want the dog to chew up my shit. And so we've been putting beds in his crate and he's got this thing about foam, like the foam. He has chewed up every bed that we've bought him. So literally last night, I was like,
actual bed.
Yeah. Oh no. My dog's been eating up our pillows left and right. We're basically sleeping on cardboard. But we got to a point now where I'm just like, fuck this dog. And I went out and bought, those kitchen padded mats that you step on when you're like cleaning, like you can get a bed. Like I bought those and I just shoved them in there. Like, That's what you
Dude,
get now.
same with him. He's ripped up every bed imaginable. For some reason, there's these 2 beds at Target that he hasn't. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful. Knock on wood. But it's been a couple of weeks since he's ripped it up. So, but now, yeah, he's gone onto my shoes, and I'm like, I have a lot of dogs. I have 3 dogs. This is actually my roommate's dog. I have 3 dogs of my own, and they're girls. Never chewed a shoe. I've never dealt with that.
Yeah. Girls
I think
seem to be a little better than that. It's definitely a boy thing, and especially when they develop their space, that space it's gone. You gotta let it just go. Either you're moving out of the house or it's gone.
I've trained my girls. They don't sleep in the bed with me. I have to put their bed right next to me on the floor. That's good. This dog, man. I mean, if I want to do a time lapse of me waking up, get off. And then by the time it's morning, him and I are just face pillowed side by side. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He'll keep on. He just doesn't care. I don't know how to break him from that. It's driving me crazy.
It's not toys, Paris. The dog is just, you don't understand how many toys we have. We have 4 bones. If we were talking like square footage wise, I think we have like a bone per like 3 square feet in my house. Like everywhere you walk into a bone, because the dog, if you don't have the bones, it's even worse.
Well, see, the problem with that is, since I have so many dogs, my pug and him are the more alpha. My pug's the oldest, and then he's the baby. If they can't have bones randomly. They'll fight. They like start killing each other. They have to be like, I have to watch them when they have their bones.
Right.
He has to eat his in his cage. Lyric has to eat hers here. One has to eat theirs there. So I can't just rely on that. Like, and then he killed his favorite stuffy just the other day. He used to play catch with it by himself. He's had it for months, and then he attacked. I don't know what he did. So I'm just over it.
You are dead to me. Dead to me, Stuffy.
I love that damn dog. It makes me so mad because I just love his stupid face so much.
I think we all do. I think that's the problem. And my dogs definitely sleep. Boston Terriers are known. They won't sleep anywhere but in your bed. So, but but they're small, and they snore like crazy, just like pugs.
Yes, Lyric does snore. She's not too bad though, thank God.
Yeah, but my dogs were crate trained. See, Paris is the king of telling me how to raise things. That's his thing. That's his job for me.
I love it. Such a dad.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm the one with 3 kids that are all alive.
You have 3 kids?
I have 3 kids. I have a 21-year-old. I said it before. A 21-year-old, a 14-year-old, and an 8-year-old. Yeah.
Holy shiitake mushrooms! You are definitely.
I'm a dad.
Well, go ahead.
I am a real licensed dad.
Oh, you a dad?
Exactly. But it's funny though, because like, I always do this to all my new people. In Paris, when he had his little Paris, I was like, okay, hey, you should probably try this. Oh no, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. I'm like, okay, give it time. And now he's like, oh man, we had to do this. I'm like, yeah, that's what happens. They're little people. They have their own personalities that you got to roll with.
No, they definitely are little people, but I could say the same about these damn dogs.
The animals are 100%.
They never grow up.
Right. They don't grow up.
Kids are easier.
I think they just get tired. They don't grow up though. They're always the same, because even with my boxer, he was at the end of his life. We've always had kind of a 2-dog thing. The first one, we had 1 dog and a cat. And then we brought the new one on when the old one started getting it. So then we started getting used to this whole 2-dog thing. The old one didn't do anything for the longest time. We thought, we're like, okay, you probably have like, maybe a year left. We brought the new dog in. He stayed out. All of a sudden he lost like 15 pounds, and he was great for like another 4 or 5 years. And it's like,
it helps.
It really does help. But like I said, they don't stop being who they are. They just get a little more tired, and they just don't want to fuck with it anymore. But they're still there.
Yeah. My pug, she's about 10. And I've noticed this year kind of slowed down. And then he came in, she was always chubby. Like, pugs are chubby. She was my little chubby girl. She was my thick one. And then Rufio came in, and I mean, she's lost weight. She's like plays, like they just play in the morning, but she wasn't like that with the other girls. So it is interesting. They're the same like us. They pick in personalities, which ones work better for them and which ones don't.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't mess with Chihuahuas. They're a little too small
Same.
for me. You know,
They're
they gotta have a little
same.
meat on them, a little bit of meat. Like I don't like
Yeah.
my boxer was the biggest dog I ever had. So I got the boxer. I've
Meat
always
or
wanted a
fur?
boxer. What'd you say? Exactly.
Okay.
I always wanted a boxer, and this was like, I need to get back to this, but I used to do a whole bunch of triathlons, and I was like, I need a dog I can run with. Like our first Boston just didn't run. You get outside, you get on the
No.
ground. It's like, I'm done. I'm good. It's been a quarter of a mile.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
with my pug.
And so I'm like, I need a dog I can run with. So I got this dog, and we're running. I'm like, okay, everything's great. After a mile, he was like, I'm tired. I'm like, okay. So
Yeah.
now I just have a big ass dog that doesn't want to do anything but lay around the house, you know? So but now my new my new Boston, he'll run with me for hours, you know? So, but they're all
Okay.
different.
Aw.
Every animal, but
Yeah,
every
that is
animal's different.
interesting.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense, you know? And the new one is
Like kids, yo.
thick, so thick. I thought he was just a baby puppy, and
Oh,
he's
God.
grown, and he just has just a big
Solid.
ass now, just
Yeah.
a big
Oh, I
ass,
love it.
and weight, like girthy. You know what I mean? Like just heavy. You pick him up, you're like,
You
why are
said
you so heavy?
That's like, yeah, my pug's like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know. So we have our super thick Boston, and then we have like he's like my other Boston. He's like a male model.
Okay.
He's like, if you were looking at a Boston Terrier, you open up like a Boston Terrier magazine. You know what I'm saying? You open up a Boston Terrier
He's a
magazine,
male model.
and then you
Love
see
it.
the dog, and he's like looking up, and he's like perfect. Like that's BJ. And then you have
Yeah.
we call him, his name is Bonsai, and he's like we should have called him Bonbon because he literally looks like he never leaves the couch. But he's not. But he's not heavy. I mean, but he's not fat.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
we
cool. That's
stopped-
just him.
we started lessening his food. Like, don't give him so much food. Maybe he's just eating
Yeah.
too much food. Doesn't
It's
matter.
not gonna matter.
He's,
That's who he is.
he's
Yeah.
thick. He's got a big ass. All right, so we have kept you on way longer than we probably needed to. But honestly, I appreciate you coming on today.
Yeah,
Honestly,
of course.
You know,
Thank you for
you're
having
real.
me, man. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. You're real, and I respect that. And you're a damn good DJ too.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Let's see. Is there anybody at Girth Brooks?
Doris Brooks. Oh my God, I love that. Play on names.
Is there? Oh, by the way, I'm curious. What is your birthday? What's your month?
September 28th. I'm a Libra.
You're a oh, my wife's a Libra. That's strange. Yeah.
Really?
That is. Yeah. It
Why?
makes sense
I
though.
think I'm pretty Libra-ish. I feel like.
No. You are 100% Libra-ish. When you know what you want to do, there's no stopping you.
Nope.
But also, she sucks at technology, just like you.
I suck.
You know, and having that help, you know, really works for her. You know, because because Libras
Heck yeah.
sometimes they get caught in their own little thing where they can't decide what they want to do, and it's just
Hands
like
down.
this. You know what I mean? So
Just taking that second step. We know what we want to
yes. Right.
do, but we just don't. Yeah. Like we're bossy. Is she bossy? Is your wife bossy?
Oh, hell yes.
I'm
Yeah.
bossy.
I'm Capricorn, so she's bossy and I'm stubborn. So
I'm stubborn too.
we definitely.
I think
she's
I'm
stubborn too.
opposite.
She's a princess.
You know
And
what?
every Libra I've ever met has
I
been a
don't think I'm
princess.
princess.
Are you sure?
No. I mean, I think there are people that would think that I'm a princess, but I am 100% like I mow my own lawn. I will, if I'm like, I'm doing my own shit, you know? If I
Gotcha.
want to create this dramatic project and my friends come and help me, I'm not the one I am delegating, but I'm also like right out there doing the work. So I think I have princess like tendencies, but overall, I don't think I'm a princess at all.
I'm looking at Carrie's responses.
A bitch is bossy for sure. I'm bossy,
Fair
but
enough.
I also know when people are good at what they do, I trust that instinct of, okay, you're good. I don't need to be over your shoulder. I don't need to tell you how to do, just fucking get it done. Like,
Gotcha.
so I'm bossy, but I'm not like too bossy.
Okay. You said enough. I get it. Aren't all wives bossy? Yes, they can be.
No, not
but,
all
you know.
wives.
All right. So, Angie, honestly,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
remember, Angie streams Monday, Wednesday,
Mhm.
Friday, Sunday, and now Saturday.
Yeah,
You're
Saturday
doing
nights.
the
Yeah.
Ray Train on Saturday nights. Okay.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
and do you want to post your OnlyFans if we have some
Yeah,
OnlyFans people out there?
absolutely, for sure. If you DM me and say, "Hey, girl, do you do nudes?" I'm gonna say, "Hey, boy," or "Girl, no, I don't." But if you like music, and I have like 3 mixes I have to record today for just this week
Okay.
alone because I'm behind.
Mhm.
At Angie V, same as my Twitch, OnlyFans at Angie V. Subscribe. It's like $15 subscription, and you get mixes. And coming in the future, I'll be doing more behind the scenes videos again of random shit. So yeah, shoot me a sub.
You might have to consider, with all the things you're doing, getting a Discord server.
Ew.
I'll just say, Carrie, she should consider getting a Discord server. I'll just leave it on Carrie.
Carrie's been on me and on me and on me and on me, and all I can say is more, one more thing. What
looks
even
like it looks like we're going to stay a little longer. It looks like we have a hype train going on.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. All right.
Level 1 hype train. All right, well, let's get it done. I mean, I
What
know we're not.
is okay? Explain to me the Discord.
Okay.
Why do I need a Discord?
So basically, think of Discord as like your community chat forum. Okay, a place where everybody can go, but the difference is when you're on Twitch, you have your community chat, right?
Right.
When you get off of Twitch, the people that are on Twitch basically have no way to really connect with you besides going to your Instagram and then maybe posting on a page or whatever.
I'm okay with that.
So the Discord is basically a way to get everybody in on the same thing. Now, this is why it's potentially important, and this is the only reason that I look
tell
at
me
it
the
this way.
benefits of why.
Yeah, the benefit is if shit goes down, people still have a place to get to you. That's the key for me. You know, if you lose your IG, you got remember you got your little soft band. You lose your IG, now you have no way to communicate with people besides maybe creating another profile. But if that happened and you had a Discord, you wouldn't lose them. And any of your notifications, if you post on there, hey, I'm going on live now, they all get it like immediately. So and you can set it up to be a subscriber only, just like your OnlyFans. And then you could put all your Mixclouds on Discord and do away with OnlyFans. Or keep OnlyFans. I'm just saying.
Think about it that way. I will say that right there. Maybe. But everything that you're saying to me still has not pushed me over the limit of feeling like I need yet another way to be attainable, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect. And it's
I love,
everyone.
like I said, I really try really hard to communicate, even in IG, even in, so I feel like things are doing well, and this is going well. Like the ball, that's just looks crazy, and me seeing balls, the balls in the air are juggling quite well, and I think one more might knock me a little bit on my ass. So now, I'm happy not having a Discord, but we'll see. Yeah.
Level 1 hype train, 92%. We can get past level 1. Guys.
I think we can get past level 1.
I mean,
I think we can totally get past level 1.
Yeah,
92%.
There's still 189 people on here. We can't get past level 1.
DJ Darth Vader.
I'm going to shut this thing down now. Yeah, Darth Vader in the house.
So people are on Discord at the same time as they're on your Twitch, right?
They can be. Yeah. And you can set it up. I mean, Discord has a lot of potential, so you can do whatever you want with it. For me, because of YouTube, because of Twitch, because of IG, and all the tech questions, I'm like, you know what? Everybody start feeding the tech questions through my Discord. They're all on there, and then that way, if something happens, and it's a dumb question, because sometimes there are dumb questions, somebody else on my Discord can answer it, and then that's one less thing that I have to deal with. So
it sounds like
it just
more
depends.
things I have to deal with, though.
A little bit, but you can. It can be as intrusive, or basically non-existent. There. Now, here's the most important part. You'll be much better at Discord if you have people to mod it for you, because like I started my Discord and kind of set it up the way I wanted to, and then all my mods, all my mods just took over, and they basically run my Discord now. So,
DJ Green Lantern, what it do?
Green Lantern in the house. What's going on, man?
Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
that's it. That's it.
I'm still sold
Just
on
put it
it.
in the back of your head. Put it in the
Yeah,
back of
it's
your head.
there. It's been there for a while. It definitely has. I'm good.
Yeah. I get it. All right. Level 2 hype train at 60%. 60% hydrate redemption. Okay. Although I've been drinking cold coffee.
Let's see. I mean, yeah. Let's move on to another topic. I'm already over Discord because I see the chat.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah, I'm not doing
Bless
it.
you.
Okay, not doing it.
See right there? That was the Libra in you.
For sure.
Right there.
And that's what I talk about is how I eat shit because God only knows and how long I'm going to be like, catch me on Discord, guys. But no, for now, yeah. Thank you,
Gotcha.
DJ Flo.
Gotcha.
It's marinating.
I saw in the chat something about a toy drive.
Oh,
Does that have to do with you? So let's talk about the toy drive.
So for I should have been talking about this a long time ago. So for many years I started actually DJ John B and myself. We used to live side by side in a duplex. It was like the best house ever. Mine was the girl's side, his was the boy's side. And we started having these Christmas parties. One right away, I was like, well, if we're gonna have a Christmas party, we should have our friends bring a little toy and we'll donate it to my church or whatever. The first party went really well. The second party just got crazy dope packed. And then it just started growing and growing and growing and growing. Then I moved into this house over here. And the combination of me, John B, DJ Leslie, which we were only a few doors apart. Now, the parties were just getting like insane. To the point where leading up to last year, I had a tent in my front yard on a Sunday night. So this is Sunday night. On a Sunday night, tent in my front yard. All my furniture inside now comes out. We decorate the whole house. Christmas like meets Chuck E. Cheese thrown up. And it turned, we were able to provide toys to 25 families. And that's like toys. We gave them a Christmas, not like, here's a toy. So this year I thought, okay, how can I capitalize off doing more families with the newfound friends and supporters that we have? And we came up with a drive, literally going to be a drive-by. We have it all set up. I'll be DJing right underneath me and friends, John B and a few others I haven't reached out to yet. We'll be DJing underneath the Fox Theater so that you're able to drive up, drop off a toy. We'll have like a picture-y type step and repeat. You can take a picture in front of your car, take a picture of the DJs, drop off a toy and move along. Now, if you choose to park somewhere along the area, listen, that has nothing to do with me. So that's the plan.
You guys should look into the FM broadcaster, the modulators.
Okay.
Because that way you can project your audio and tell people, hey, go to 98.5 and they can hear everything from their cars too.
Well,
so they can be in the now.
We're going to be streaming it live as well. So we'll want to push that crowd to their phone on Twitch and their
I gotcha. That makes sense.
But yeah, it'll be streaming, and the goal is to we did 25 families, and here's where I'm at though. I don't know if we're going to go into a lockdown. So I don't know. Right. I can't, it's like, what do I do? I want to reach out to families, but my goal is 50 families, but what if we don't even get to have this toy drive? And now I'm responsible for 50 families having Christmas. I could never say, just kidding. So it's a hard, chill out.
When are you supposed to be doing it?
December 5th.
Did you have said?
December
5th.
I know.
You know what? I think we'll know more by, but you can't, it has to be something you have to lock in. You can't just say, let's wait until the 4th and see.
Yeah, it's definitely locked. It's not even so much of the toy drive part that stresses me out as it does is reaching the families that need the help and feel that relief of them that they don't have to worry about this,
Sure.
That's the part that I'm like, okay, am I mentally prepared to take on that weight? If I can't deliver this, I don't know. So we'll see. It's always going to work out. It always does. It will work itself out somehow and we'll get it done. But it's going to be a very busy month.
Yeah.
Leading up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, do you have anything else besides that going on that people should know about while we're
Not
here?
a damn thing. Nope, I do not. No, I don't. I don't. Regrouping. You know, the holidays. I don't know if they're the same for you. We just kind of. I feel like if you're in the DJ world and you do the whole year, after what is it like Halloween? Is that like breathe out?
Right.
You kind of shut down. You did the whole summer. You did pool season. You did Halloween, and then you get a little break, and then you guys jump into. Carrie's texting me with what I forgot. Okay, got it, Care. Thank you. She's so good at her job. And then you know, where we get tired and you just want to enjoy the rest of the year. And for me, I'm going to continue streaming. My goal right now is what Carrie was texting me is I am on the road to 3,000 subs. So I'm at about 26,
Jesus.
maybe. Yeah, thanks. 26, 27. So if we can get to 3,000 subs in the month of November, I will have committed to 14 days of Christmas every day leading up to Christmas Eve straight. So 14 days straight every day, like the OG days.
Right.
If we can get to 3,000 subs. That's my commitment and goal. So it's going to be busy. If we can achieve that, I'm going to be busier than I plan to be at the end of the year. Because I also like to regroup and figure out what's going to happen for
now
the next year.
I'm not gonna obviously lie. 3,000 subs is an amazing number.
Thanks.
I could see why you wouldn't necessarily need to or want to DJ live, because that's a regular job.
Yeah.
Actually, probably better than. That's insane.
I'm pretty much about where I was before quarantine. A little better with, if I count my outside incomes like OnlyFans and stuff, I would be lying if I didn't say I'm doing better than I was before. And the fact that I'm not out. I'm not really.
You don't have to travel. Exactly.
Traveling. I'm not spending money in airports. I'm not spending $8 for a water bottle and $7 for a coffee and eating out all the time and eating out with my friends and covering bills and just doing the shit that I was doing. So my goal was to pay off all my credit card debt, and by the end of the month, I will be debt free in that aspect. I'm thankful, you know. I'm smashing this was the first year I did a vision board. And
vision boards are very important.
Oh my God. So I'm going to do actually also in December, I'm going to do a vision board as well as a group with all of us, because I can attest to it being such an important part of what this year was for me, given everything. I truly believe that vision board, before quarantine, I had already knocked out half of it. And I'd never done that. So we're going to do a vision board as a group. You guys join in. But yeah, I don't have to. I'm lucky that I don't have to go out and DJ publicly. Yeah. You know, I don't. I can be very picky.
You really can. And that's, I mean, that's kind of, I think that's where everybody wants to be. They don't want to be in a position where it's like, they have to do this because they have to take care of their families or whatever. And then it puts you in a bad place mentally and potentially physically. So I think getting to the place you are, and I think a lot of people would be happy with 10% of what you're getting, and they'd be fine. You know? Yeah, probably. Yeah. I would be one of those people. I'm thankful for any of it. As long as I can just maintain and pay my bills, I'm very, very lucky that, you know, I'm kind of the breadwinner of my family. I have been for many, many years, and I'm the one that people lean on. So when this came, and I'm like, I'm the first one wiped out, we're all gonna die. So I'm very, very thankful that I can still maintain that position to be able to help others when they need it. You know, like I said, you know, I brought Carrie in and said, hey man, you need a job, let's go. And I'm able to help my digital content friends and my friends doing my merch. We're a family. We're all a family. So the more we can, the more I can break off it and spread and help people that I care about, the happier I am. And that's what helps me also show up every day and be happy coming in. You're your own brand. You're your own business. I am my own brand that other people I feel depend on. So other people depending on whether it's people in the chat or my friends for the like let's go. That helps me because it's not just for me. Yeah. By the way, big up DJ Flipside 33 in the house. What's going on, man? Hi. Chicago's own. All right, so I think we've
did we do it? Did we complete it?
We did complete it. We're at a minute and 20. We're at 105%. So I would definitely thank probably Angie V's people. They don't hype train me as much for whatever reason.
Okay.
You know, probably because we're like literally deep in a conversation and it's not something that kind of triggers when you're listening to music and, you know, you're just having a good time. It's easier to do that, but this is
and
so
the music
serious.
pushes. You're like, oh, hype train, let's go. What do we got? Yeah. I even noticed when my hype trains come, I have to up the energy of the music during the hype train.
Of course, yeah. So, and it is what it is. I kind of understand where I am because it's funny because at first I was getting more frustrated, and then I remember I was doing a equipment test for like 30 minutes, and then hit a hype train like that. I'm like, okay, it's had nothing to do with me per se. It's just the music. It's just, you know, maybe I'll turn it into a variety bonanza show. I'm kidding.
Why not? Here's the one thing I'm telling you, people love to see people do dumb shit. It's like their favorite. Yeah, I'm about to be like Jackass for freaking cholas. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because like you know, I spent so much time, and it's necessary. So before I say my next statement, I spent so much time on YouTube building up my follower account and building up all that stuff, but a lot of people don't realize. They think, oh, wow, it's YouTube. At least got this. There's not a lot of money in YouTube unless you are severely viral. Agreed. Or you have, you know, 1 million to 4 million subs and you're averaging, you know, 200 to 300,000 views on every stream or every video.
Agreed.
So it's more about just being visible to the world, which opens up the door to everything else that I do. And a lot of people, there's nothing wrong with doing more than what you think you can do. The more you do, the more exposure you have, and you'll find other things. Because who knows, during quarantine you might walk out of this doing something completely different.
Absolutely. I love DJing, and it's such a fun aspect of what I am, but it's not all of who I am. I would love to move forward into I guess now that I know that let me tell you this. I've done things on camera before. I don't watch myself. I don't go back and watch my streams. I don't look at Carrie knows the chat is full screen. I don't want to see what I look like on camera. It's uncomfortable. I don't like it. So if I'm given that aspect, I'm great in front of a camera if I don't have to look at the playback. So I now know I can handle being in front of a camera. I would love to do more on camera type stuff moving forward. Whether that's in hosting or I don't freaking know, but I could go a whole other route. And we're actually working on YouTube content for the most part too.
Mm-hmm. You need to, because if you watch this guy, his name's Harris Heller. He does Alpha Gaming, and he'll tell you, he's like, even if you're on Twitch, this is for your live content. But if you don't have static content for people to go to, it's gonna mess you up in the long run. So you want to make sure. And now I feel like that's what's
happening to me because I've had to wash my my page on Twitch and even on IG because they delete it. You know, before like there's a couple of videos that I have still like sets, and I still get love on those. And I'm like, fuck, man, I got to figure out how to create this. Keeping it on, and I was doing okay on Twitch, but now it's then washed, so I was like starting all over again.
Yeah. Hey, this is what we do. This is what, as DJs, how many times have we started all over again, in all honesty? You know, where you thought everything was fine, and the next thing you know, the promoter that you usually work with, you have a falling out with, all of a sudden you have no gigs. Now you have to, you know, try to find somebody else. It's always you know, we're the runts of the music world, even though we're very popular.
No, for sure. I saw a comment in here that talks about, you know, are you going to talk about what is it? I don't even know what it's called.
Oh, the DMCA.
The
DMCA. We talked about it earlier.
We did that.
Yeah.
But I didn't really see it in that aspect that they commented about Twitch making us partners, knowing.
Oh, no. That was always my thing. I've been saying that
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I'm like, how in the world are you going to make anybody a partner? Because you have to review their stream, see what they're about before you turn them partner. You saw that they were streaming every single day music, and you still made them partner. So what does that say about you?
a space in this of music. There's a music. What's it called? So it's
they
interesting.
put
I'm
people
gonna
on the
give
main
Twitch the
page.
benefit of the doubt.
They put people on the
Say that
main
again?
page. They put DJs on
Yeah.
the main page. Everything that
Yeah.
says you shouldn't do this, they have done. So it's real.
Yeah.
That's why. But now that I understand that it's like always been their thing, they're kind of like the
They're
Mavericks.
I'm giving them the benefit. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
giving them the benefit of the doubt that they don't. They're right there with us.
Yeah. Let's hope.
Because in reality, I think we all are in the same place of this is all new.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And if they have to fix it for the gamers anyway, they might as well fix it across the board. Call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right. So we have to figure out who we are going to raid now that we've been on longer than we thought. Is there anybody in particular that you want to raid before I say anything?
Let me see. Let's see. Hold that thought. I mean, everyone's on right now. Not everyone, but I would love
noon.
Scene. I love Snapback. I love Chris Villa. I love Scam. I love.
So I raided Scene last week, so we can skip him.
Okay.
We could raid Chris Villa. You know who I have not raided? Scam.
Shoot him. Yeah.
Why aren't they even? Oh, they're there. Who they got on? Triple XL and Nick Ferrer.
Triple XL and Nick Ferrer. They do this freaking hilarious, like, they go back to back, but it's funny because they're promos of twins, like the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and because Nick is so tiny
Right.
and XL so tall. But yeah.
Yeah. I did Scene last week, and I actually rated Chris and Scene last week. So let's do Scam. I haven't done Scam
Let's
yet.
do it.
So and
Let's
you know,
do
hey,
it in
you know,
honor
you're in honor of the new
Yeah.
partnership. We definitely need to do
I
Scam.
like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, throw the ones in the chat if this was a fantastic show. Throw the ones in the chat if you found anything useful about this. And you know, while we're loading up Scam here.
Let's see. Yeah, definitely tell my boys, Nick and Triple XL. I said, what up? I'm so excited to get my coffee right now.
I'm sure I kept going much longer than you needed
No,
to, so
it's all
I
good.
apologize.
It's all great. I don't shut the F up, so that's why.
There we go. And let's start the spray. We'll let it roll through. So remember, Angie V will be back on tomorrow. What time?
Noonish.
Noonish. And how long do you typically go?
Wednesday, I'll probably go like an hour and a half to 2 hours tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So if I do get on,
I commit to
on
an
a
hour.
Friday. Oh, always an hour. Gotcha. Yeah, but then you get, you know, all those people in there. You're like, I should probably stay on for a little while longer.
Yeah, I just.
All right. Let's hold on. Let me get to it. I hate when you raid somebody and you're not on your channel.
Yeah, because it's so.
Because then you go to them and you have to hit the
Yeah.
commercial and then you miss everything. So all right. So let's.
I love it.
I think we're good with the raid. All right, people. Once again,
Bye.
thanks for hanging out today. Tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yes, and tomorrow we're on with Mixcloud. If anybody that's concerned about DMCA, tomorrow is when you want to be on with this channel because definitely we're going to learn something. All right, y'all. We will see you soon. Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.
Bye.
And let's hit the finish.